Welcome to another episode of Tatercast. And before we get into this episode covering the latest stuff on Sweet Baby, which seems to be like it's going to be Gamergate 2.0, mark my words, I'd like to just say Rooster Teeth has apparently closed down. Warner Bros. Decided that Rooster Teeth is just going to go kaput. So, like, they've just closed that all down, which means a whole bunch of people are out of a job, which is kind of wild, but what can you do, unfortunately? I'm more surprised with Zaslav in charge it didn't happen earlier. But, either way, let's get on with the episode. Say hello, Camoku. Hello? Oh, fuck. What happened this time, Discord?
Oh, I hear you.
Alright, no problem. It's just like, I was saying, say hello, Camoku, and then just like...
So no, I think for a second I just decided to putter out.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah, I was saying let's go because I had a whole oh well. Take two. The more we look, the worse it gets, and things just keep going downhill even faster.
All part of the fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, it's wild. Like I was doing, what was it? I was watching. So let's see. I think I did a quick like recap over the course of like the last day visiting Fratanga, It's a Gundam, Nuxtaku, Mudahar. It's like, holy crap, everyone is covering this. And then you go and look at what's being found on Twitter, and it's just, holy crap, it just gets worse.
Yeah, like I said, if this doesn't turn into Gamergate 2.0, I will be legitimately surprised because it seems like it's going in the same direction because the same fucking players even.
Yeah, apparently it's like a lot of people aren't even calling it 2.0. They're saying it's Gamergate 3. Like,
when was 2?
what the fuck? I know, when the fuck was 2? Because I don't remember there ever being a 2. How did we get to 3 already? We're skipping some levels.
Yeah, because all I've seen is Gamergate 2 hashtags, or
Yeah.
2.0. I've not seen Gamergate 3. Where are you looking? I'm not asking this to be rude, but I'm actually kind of curious.
There were some Twitter posts. I'm actually gonna have to go ahead and try and find them, but it was wild because if I remember correctly, what was being said that a bunch of people were finding out that I think was it one player in specific was like really close friends with Anita Sarkeesian, and I'm guessing that's where people are saying Gamergate 2 came about because Sarkeesian was trying to do her thing after Gamergate happened, and then from there you have a lot of what Sweet Baby's trying to do is basically the playbook that Anita was trying to follow, but ultimately failed to be able to execute.
Speaking of Sweet Baby, did you see the list that just came out this morning, which was like 10 or 12 companies that were all doing the same thing as Sweet Baby?
No, I hadn't seen that. That's actually news to me.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go through my tweets real quick. Because, like, I mean, you probably saw, I was retweeting a whole bunch of this shit. Microsoft. Let me just sort by latest. Let's see. Yeah, there was Sweet Baby Incorporated, Black Girl Gamers, Hit Detection, Balance Path, Silverstring Media, Stone Myar Games, Gamer, spelled with a Y, X, James Mendez Hodes, no idea, Dragon Baby, Anita, of course,
Yep.
Weird Ghost, Infinite Ammo Incorporated, Gamma Space, and Cozy Comet Games. And apparently, Infinite Ammo funds Weird Ghost, which supports SBI. Gamma Space is related to SBI, and apparently so is Cozy Comet. And those are like just the ones that are Sweet Baby or Sweet Baby Ask that apparently just do that shit. And that was fucking like it was just out of the freaking gate this morning. Like as soon as I woke up, like, it was just all over the TL. I mean, you saw even just the stuff I tagged doing both the Niji and Sweet Baby. Like, it's just been just a constant deluge of shit.
Yeah, it's like you have all this information coming out of the woodwork. Like, was it Total Master? I think was a big name that I saw that was being circulated around. Then you also had TOTLMSTR. I don't know how you read that. It was a thread. Let's see if I can. So this was posted March 4th, and this ended up circulating into my timeline, where they basically are listing out Sweet Baby Inc. is funded by Baby Ghost. Baby Ghost co-founder is Eileen Holoka. Eileen Holoka's brother was Alec Holoka. Alec Holoka was the boyfriend of Zoe Quinn. Sweet Baby Inc.'s employees is also one Felix Kramer. Kramer was listed as one of the five guys by Aaron Joni to Zoe Quinn. Kramer is also friends with Anita Sarkeesian directly. That's where that Anita Sarkeesian connection is coming in.
Okay.
And then they keep going saying, do you know who has direct ties to a lot of people? A certain Catherine Cross.
Good lord.
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck?
Like I said, it's literally the exact same players, and even just the different outlets like Kotaku and whatnot are doing the exact same playbook. Which, speaking of Kotaku, it's Alyssa Mercante tried, or I don't know how the fuck that's pronounced, nor do I give a shit. But that's besides the point. Tried infiltrating the actual group, Discord group for Sweet Baby, and from top to bottom, let me just, you probably saw what I sent you, but, like, from top to bottom, here were her messages before she got booted. If anyone would like to chat about this Discord and Steam page, let me know, thanks. Is there a reason why many of you don't have your names pictures associated with your account on here? Apparently she went protected on Twitter pretty recently, too. And by pretty recently, I mean like in the last hour. Anyways, interesting. And then, why do you think that? Still here, smiley face. Just curious if anyone could speak to the creation of the server/Steam page and why they feel monitoring SBI work is important. And then, hello, would anyone in this group be willing to answer a few questions for a Kotaku story? But you can't make up this fucking room temperature IQ horseshit. You really can't.
Yeah.
And normally I'm not like...
It's like...
Oh, sorry.
No. But that's the thing, though. Wasn't this the same account that... I don't know if it was this one or if it was like the maid hen honcho for Sweet Baby, who happens to also be linked to Alyssa Mercante. The whole shenanigans with that is that they had tried to... Jeez, what was it that happened? They had tried to... They basically tried to report the Sweet Baby Incorporated detected account or a group on Steam, pointed it out on X, and then made a second post under that saying, "Hey, y'all should go report the fuck out of that, and make sure to report his account," which then ended up getting them banned off of Twitter because they had instigated targeted harassment.
Yeah, like some got banned, some just went protected and are still protected. It may have been that Twitter locked them. Who knows for certain? But yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the same exact people. Yeah.
yeah, and the really insane thing is that they've still got friends of theirs coming out of the woodwork trying to go after the same guy, and it's like, that's not the point, though.
Hell, all this has done is made the guy incredibly popular. Like, he's getting interviewed by friggin' Asmongold and quite a few others. Like, he's even got... Like, dude,
oh man, that's funny, but at the same time, I'm like, man, like, just I would not trust Asmon with information just because he's been saying some weird stuff for the past year. It's just like, dude, stop.
I mean, it's not just that he's saying weird stuff. It's like I wouldn't trust Asmongold like with much, to be honest. Like, I trust the dude to not be weird about as much as I trust him to keep a clean room, which is to say, not at all.
Yeah. No, the thing that got me was like what really started getting me down what was just throwing me off completely was the whole situation with Vosh, and it sounded like he was trying to defend him, which I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You could have just made your reaction and gotten the hell off the internet, but no, you had to go ahead and keep going, and now you look like you're actually defending Vosh. But then he takes it a step further, because then when Hassan fucks up and says that being a streamer is the most difficult thing on the face of the planet,
that fucking still pisses me off. There is
he
nothing difficult.
went, but it is though.
Like, I was a streamer until like my internet decided to fuck up. There is nothing difficult other than like the mental toll because you have to dedicate yourself to that, like to being a streamer. Because all
Oh
you
yeah,
do
I
is you press a button, fucking play your game, communicate with your chat, keep an eye on the
yeah.
chat, and it's like if that's fucking difficult, I'd hate to see what the dude considers impossible.
I knew
What is
one.
it?
I knew
Fucking menial
one.
labor?
I knew one friend of mine who the only reason I agree for him that it was tough on him to do it was because he literally committed himself to it, went above and beyond to get it done, and actually became a famous streamer for about a year. And then he had to call it quits because he had shot his health to hell and back. And he's like, I need to step away from this. I don't know if I'm ever coming back. And when I found out about his story, I'm like, dude, so what the hell happened? And he's like, the only way I was ever gonna get noticed is if I was streaming an insane amount of hours a day. He was averaging 16 hours a day while being in college.
Good lord, like how the fuck to get his work done? Like I got like my boyfriend does chem work and whatnot for
Yeah.
college. Like sure he can game at night, but even that dude's usually too exhausted to do much from like one bit like much
Oh,
past like 11:30, 12 o'clock, and even that's pretty tough for him.
like for me, what was it for me? During the time that I was doing like back to back 12-hour shifts, for like 3 months straight. The only reason I could keep operating was because I made dang sure that I was getting at least 6 hours of sleep. And then apart from that, I was just chugging so much caffeine, it wasn't even funny. By the time I came off that assignment, I actually had to quit caffeine cold turkey so I could detox.
Yeah, yeah, I know you mentioned like how much
Yeah.
caffeine you did enough to kill a elephant. Like I can only
Yeah.
imagine how bad the fucking detox was.
Oh yeah, no, the headaches and the shakes are not worth the time. My buddy, on the other hand, his whole deal though is that he was fucking abusing his Adderall prescription.
That seems to be pretty common, like in a lot of circles. Like,
Yeah.
remember seeing the articles like around esports folks because they were
Yep.
abusing Adderall?
Yep.
Like I just can't even imagine that. Like, because I actually even took Adderall at one point. That shit did not do good for me. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, not everybody reacts to it the same way. Some people get overamped on it and just can't sleep for days, and just the damage long term when the bill finally comes up to pay for it,
Yep,
you're trying to scramble for a way to not have to do that again, but by that point it's too late.
yep.
Um,
It's one of the reasons
but
why I
like,
wish the mental health systems here and rehab around here was actually halfway decent.
yeah,
Because like it's not, and like you see all these people, and then you see them trying to get help, and it's like there's nothing
oh
because
yeah,
it's just so fucked.
and on the topic of just mental health, like stuff like what Sweet Baby is doing, that is damage. Like, and then not just that, but like even the people involved in the past that they have damaged so many people. The fact that this all ties back to the original Gamergate and Zoe Quinn, and the fact that the main guy everybody was bashing on ended up just committing self delete in Minecraft. There is all kind. It's not unhinged. Is just a way to sugarcoat it at this point. You need to find a stronger word because these dudes are fucking sociopaths.
I find evil is a pretty good word. I know
Yeah,
people
no, that
kind of
works too.
boil like people boil that shit down so much, like then they've kind of made it as bland as they could. But like, tell me that word doesn't
It's
work.
yeah, no, it works perfectly. It's fucking evil.
Yeah,
And the sad thing is though is that these guys, I wish it was as simple as just getting them off the internet, but it's not because they have someone bankrolling their operations, and it's the scariest freaking thing.
it really is, and you just wonder like I almost guarantee if you were to audit it, like you'd probably find at least 5 or 6 different things that all just originate from the same thing.
Yeah. I think what was it? Let me see. I don't know if Dexerto's covered it yet, but I know that Gundam was actually one of the people that went ahead and covered it off the rip, and he basically I think it was either him or Fratanga that covered it full on saying, "Hey, these guys are actually getting corporate level funding from like BlackRock.
I'm not surprised with the whole
Which I'm like,
DEI
what
thing
the
going
fuck is
on.
BlackRock
Oh,
doing in the game?
it's not surprising. ESG, or which is now rebranded to DEI, like that shit's everywhere. Like fucking CD Project Red, Square Enix, and at least Koei Tecmo, and at least like 5 or 6 other gaming brands have committed to
Yep.
that shit, which has all the forced diversity and all that horse shit.
Oh
And
yeah.
like, and this is like pretty fucking major. Like, just the amount of funds going into it. Like, because like they get in bed with that, and like the amount of cash that comes into this, like, is massive. Like, I don't fucking. Now I'm gonna name drop a dude. Like, I don't fucking like the guy at all, but like he's actually done a good chunk, like covering this shit on his radio show, Glenn Beck. Like, I
Yeah.
fucking loathe the guy, but he's
Oh no, the dude is Black Pill personified. Like I've never once seen him say, "Hey, good news, guys." It's always, "Hey, it's getting worse. Hey, it's getting worse. Hey, it's getting worse." It's like, bro, come on.
it's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Something's got to, yeah,
Unless you got something good to say, yeah.
yeah. It's like at some point something's got to give. Come on, come on, come on.
And if he's not blackpilling, like, there's some shit he says, which I know this is gonna piss some folks off. Like, there is like some shit he says that is just flat out misinformation. And I know it's gonna piss some people off, especially some of the hardcore conservatives, but like, I'm forced to listen to that radio show every fucking day. I do my own independent fact checking and whatnot, because if I'm forced to listen to it, might as well actually look into this shit.
Yeah,
Like, like, alongside the truth, because there is some chunk of truth in there. Like, there's so much lies and bullshit. It's the same thing with any of these shows. It's like, really?
it's like there's like a sprinkle of the truth, and then they dramatize the rest
Yeah, it's
because they got to keep you coming back for more.
yeah. But like I said, there's some shit. Like I said, that's just flat out just lies, and it's like, really?
Dude, you. I think I like if I wanted to be this depressed but still be entertained, I can just go watch like Wendigoon covering something like Greylock.
Speaking of, did you see his video on Ruby Ridge? I haven't yet, but
Oh yeah, I watched it, dude. It's I I think the overlap between having watched Count Dankula do Ruby Ridge and then watching Wendigoon cover Ruby Ridge, it's like, oh hell.
I've been saying it
I,
for years now. But fuck the ATF.
no, it's not just that. It's like what the fuck? How how is it that there's these rules that say if I so much as put the incorrect signature on a piece of paper, I can get thrown in jail for life? But these dudes have whole reports, whole banker's box of evidence that goes missing, rooms worth of evidence that go missing, a door, and that's just like talking about Waco. A whole door went missing,
It like we like even though no
and
one would
nobody
like
gets
to
held
admit it,
accountable.
like, we have one of the most corrupt governments in the world. We just happen to kind of hide behind that, hide and like try to admit that's not happening. But like, it is like all this shit going on, and people try to be like, nah, man, everything's still good. But it's like, look
Nah,
at all this shit, then the fucking Patriot Act and many other things, and we're supposed to believe everything's just hunky dory, no corruption to be seen at all.
that's one of those where it's like I end up looking at something like was it here's one, the podcast no the podcast for Timcast IRL, there we go, that's the one I was trying to remember. Those dudes are always, they always have to like make sure that their information is on point because on the drop of a hat YouTube's ready to bash them into oblivion if they get something wrong.
Yep.
But then you've got something like what was there was a fact checker that they use that came to check them and then said they were lying, but then on everything on every other internet journalist that uses the same system, they're being greenlit, and he's the only one that's getting a red flag, which is like they're all referencing the same information as I, so why are we getting the red flag? And it's like, okay, so the shit's rigged.
It's been rigged for a while, man. Everyone's just
Yeah.
waking up to it extremely slowly.
Fallout New Vegas stopped being a meme for quite some time.
It really fucking did, which is depressing as hell, but here we
The
are.
game was rigged from the start.
Ugh, yeah. Don't even
Oh
have a
man,
fucking checkered suit to go with this shit, man.
I don't, and I don't have a platinum chip either.
I don't even have a fucking 9 mil, man.
Uh, all I got is all I got's a hole in the ground. That's about it, and that's just for the garden that I was supposed to be starting on.
Here, I thought you were gonna say all you have is a pot to piss and and a window throw it out.
Actually, that would have been pretty good to say. I should have thought of that.
Eh, fair enough. Man, we
Let's
really
see.
went way off topic.
Oh yeah, no. Well, here's the 52 degrees of separation for your for your how much worse does it get with Sweet Baby Ink?
Yeah. I can only
um.
imagine, man, like, especially where they're already starting out with the deny, deny, deny thing.
Oh, they're gonna deny,
No,
until our sun burns out.
no, I know, but, like, even the game journalists and whatnot, which are all interconnected and whatnot. Like,
Yeah.
Kotaku's already started, wouldn't be surprised if IGN and all them had. Because, like, I actually saw a tweet today that put it rather succinctly. Game developers, woke ones, and game journalists are in a incestuous relationship, which has been bad for gaming discourse as a
Oh
whole.
yeah. Yeah. What was it? A lot of people have a bone to pick with her, but Melanie Mack is a big name who at one point I remember her actually doing game reviews for GameStop when I was in middle school.
I'm gonna be honest, like I've had her muted for a while because like she'd been like fine, and then just she kind of went down this thing. Kind of reminded me a lot of Moondragon, who just reminds me a lot of me, like when I was at my worst. So it was like, all right,
Yeah.
fucking mute, mute. There's two insufferable chicks off the timeline. All right, back to normal.
So what I end up doing is it's like I realize when you do follow the people that you're trying to get in like straight information from at like as quickly as possible, you're not always gonna. It's like that's why I follow side scrollers because she's a constant co-host in Side Scrollers podcast.
I've never heard of this, but I'd be interested to find out more.
Yeah. So I anytime that I need to see how she's doing, instead of just going to her Twitter page, because of course, right now, sure, everyone's like, "Oh, the platform's dying." If the platform's dying, why the hell is everyone trying to go for each other's jugular every morning? Like, I wake up, I go take a shit, I brush my teeth, hop in the shower, come back out, get myself ready for the day, and then as soon as I pop my phone out and check X, I'm like, "Okay, we're still in a war zone."
It's been, man, like it's been such a fucking like free for all hell site.
Yeah.
And like the work, like a lot of the reason they say that the platform is dying, at least in my eyes, is just with all the like porn bots, which there is a shitload.
Oh, that one of my closest friends who co-streams with me whenever I get on. He straight up told me, dude, every fucking day I'm getting at least 30 bots trying to drop follows and get me to talk to them, and you can just tell off the rip that it's a bot.
Oh yeah, because like especially with the ones I get, it's like, hi, I rarely use this account, but follow my main, or it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
pussy in bio.
Yeah, exactly. That explains where that trend was coming from in the damn timeline. Hey, boats in bio, Twitch link in bio, AI in bio. I'm just like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
It's like come the fuck on. Like that's literally like why genuinely I'm certain that everyone's like it's dying, man. Cause just like
Yeah.
all the fucking like bot horse shit,
Oh yeah,
and
and
that
then
like because I remember back when Elon first like acquired Twitter, he was like, yeah, we're gonna take care of these bots, we're gonna do this thing and that thing, and yet a lot of the time like Twitter's been made worse. Like I've noticed Twitter's a lot harder to connect to. And like especially with these calls, which if you haven't turned off the call feature yet, do it because that will expose your IP address if they call you.
uh-huh.
And the other thing is like since he's claimed to try to eradicate the bot problem, it's become infinitely worse.
Yeah, because the people behind the bot farms are basically they're like, "Oh, you think you can get rid of us? Cool, overdrive. Double time, triple time, make it a headache for them." But the thing They think this is a battle between them and him. The thing is, dude has like 6 other companies that he's running. He's no longer at the helm of what's going on with X. He's delegated that job to someone else. The only time he ever gets back behind the wheel is whenever something fucks up, like what happened with the what was it? Um there was the incident with they did an update that almost crashed the entire app in one shot.
Even now, though,
This was
like the
like,
app is so unstable because like if it either doesn't load in, it
yeah,
loads in fine, or 12/31/69 across the whole timeline.
yeah, it's simply because of the fact that whoever the heck. So what was it? I can remember Timcast basically covered this because the guy has talked to Jack Dorsey way back in the day on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he even did research on how the heck Twitter worked back in the day when it was first created. And it was literally just it was all HTML coding. The problem is these guys didn't segment their code. It was just the longest spaghetti string you've ever seen.
Oh lord, like I don't know
Yeah,
much about coding, but even I know you don't fucking do spaghetti coding.
yeah, and that's literally what it is. Is they have this stupidly long spaghetti code going back to when the thing was first fucking put together. And anytime Musk and all of the guys that are posting on it that work for him or work under him as part of the coding team, they've explained anytime we fix something, as soon as the fix is implemented, we find everything else that breaks because of one fix, and we have to go back, identify those breaks in the code, fix those, and then find even more. So they're in this fight with a hydra, essentially.
See, this might be a hot take, and stop if you've heard this one before, but like, if the code's this, like that much of a spaghetti mess, Hydra and all that,
Yeah.
why don't they just announce that they're going to take the app down for a few days just to, like, implement their fixes, and then make sure everything's, like all fixed, and then just bring it back?
Honestly, I would say take it down. Take a week.
Yeah, even a
Take the
week,
app
yeah.
down. Take the app down. Analyze all the code, recompile it under a different method, because you can do this in 7 days if you want to crunch it hard. You get all the programmers that are worth a damn. Get them in the same room. Hell, make a war room specifically for them to operate from, and tell them overhaul this thing.
Oh, that
And
would be
then you just,
nice.
yeah, and then just cool. Whatever needs to happen, get it done. Overhaul it. Run the code. If it doesn't even look like what it started with, if we can make it look better than what we had, so be it. But this needs to get fixed,
Yep.
because the longer they don't fix this, at the end of the day, look, I ain't got a dog in this fight, but I know that the guy that just bought the app is currently hemorrhaging money on it until he can fix it.
Yeah, and you'd think, like, with such an unsustainable business model, with the spaghetti code, there'd be something done.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that leads me to believe, like, leads me to make the comparison, which I do make every now and again, which is that for all his, like, Tony Stark comparisons, Elon Musk comes off to me as more of a Justin Hammer type person in
See that
execution.
that's the thing though, because like
And
so
that's like
I
with
would
all his
say Tony
companies, though.
I would say Tony Stark is Justin Hammer too. It's just that Tony Stark has the luxury of he can be everywhere at once because movie logic or comic logic. He's
Yeah.
just everywhere at once, or he has an AI that's running it for him. But if you were saying, yeah, we have this one guy that knows how to do it all, cool. He's just one guy that knows how to do it all.
Yeah.
He can't be everywhere at once. So he's going to go to wherever his attention is most needed and leave the people that are in charge of running the ship, or at least keeping it from sinking, to keep it from sinking. But he can't be everywhere at once because he just pulled Tesla out of California not too long ago, and he's trying to set up in Texas. On top of that, he's also got to oversee the construction of Starbase in Texas so that SpaceX can permanently operate from Texas instead of having to operate in Florida. On
Speaking
top
of
of that,
Tesla, like, sorry to pause you
yeah, go
here,
ahead.
but did you see that thing that came out today with all the job openings for, and not just Tesla,
Uh,
but for SpaceX and all that?
No, I didn't see that, but I might
Like
just have to take a look at
Tesla's
that.
apparently only got like 6 openings, but like SpaceX has got like in the triple digits or higher.
Dude, I remember one time when I was still working for the shipyard, I saw an image of the Raptor 4 the Raptor 4 booster for
Okay.
the Falcon Heavy. And it was a picture of just the entire network of all the pipes that go into making that booster work.
I'm gonna
And I'm
guess
like,
it's a shitload of pipes.
dude, I was just like, you could not fit in that thing to fix something. You need to get that done right the first time because it's this weird. It looks like a brain with how many different layers and how it's just twisting in on itself like a dang knot, like a dang Gordian knot.
That sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that going, oh no, oh no, oh no. I hope they got all of that done in one shot and actually got every step of the process correct because if they moved on to the next layer and didn't get layer one correct, that's going to be hell to get in there and fix it because then they got to tear everything apart to get to that problem and fix it.
See, stuff like this is why I like the idea of certain sci-fi spaceships, like in Star Trek and whatnot. Like, it's likely we'll never see those happen, but I like the idea of just like an easy, especially with those Jeffrey tubes and whatnot. Just go in, you know, whole ass body, even fit multiple people, and just get that shit fixed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously a pipe dream, those kind of spaceships and that kind of fixability, but you know.
Yeah, that's one of those though where it's like it, a lot of people's like, "Oh, well technologically we're not there yet." It's like, "No. Technologically we're there. We just haven't figured out how to do it correctly without it crushing someone."
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we're there tech wise, but like we're not there mental
Method
competence wise.
yeah, method wise, we don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah.
Like hell, the what was it? There was a guy back in 2016. I remember reading about him. This kid in some like theoretical physics class figured out how to do the first half for a warp drive. So he figured out how to shrink space in front of you so you can shorten the length of your travel. But now the problem is unshrinking it because the easy part was shrinking it. Now to unshrink it without ripping a hole in space is that's going to be a whole other issue.
Okay.
And I'm just like, cool. So we have the mathematics. We may have the technology if we can ever get nuclear fusion to work.
Something
But
tells me fusion is still a long ways off.
oh, they're saying what was it? So I think they're saying that back in 2022 at the end of the year, they announced that we actually finally did the first nuclear fusion reaction where we had more energy than what we started with just to get the dang thing to go online.
Damn. That's
Yes.
actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, so now it's just a matter of fine tuning it so we can keep increasing how much energy it generates after the ignition because it's like for the longest time everybody was complaining because we would run the ignition but that would take so much energy just to run ignition and then not break even with the energy output. Now we broke even and then got some more out of it. So now the next step is continuing the trend of every time we fire the ignition and we break even, but then we get more power on top of what we broke even with. And they're saying that the big thing that they're going to try doing is implementing an artificial intelligence to see where it is that they need to make their tweaks.
Man,
And
AI is such a fucking can of worms.
oh yeah, it is.
Cause like, especially with the fucking GPT-4 breakdown recently,
Oh
like,
God, do I even want to know?
oh, you didn't see that shit? Like, it was like, I think about a
No.
week ago, GPT-4 ended up going insane for like about
Oh,
20-ish
it pulled
hours.
it pulled it pulled a Bing.
Oh, worse actually, because it was breaking out into incoherent language, some Spanglish, what I'm fairly certain was Esperanto,
Jeez,
and
man.
like just random incoherent shit with like just random phrases interspersed. Surprised there was no HAL 9000 references. Like, it was a shit show. And, like, no one was talking about it after that day.
That sucks.
It really does. And it's like, not too long after that, or it may have been around the same time, OpenAI ended up announcing Sora. Which, for those of you guys who don't know, that's that realistic text to video thing. Which I've seen a couple of prompts of. It looks like shit, but that is what it is. Because,
Sheesh.
and the reason I say it looks like shit is like I've seen a lot of these text to video things, and like, what the thing with AI is that like it still cannot do a very realistic looking scene. It just comes out
Right.
looking like goofy and not too genuine,
Huh.
and like they still really haven't nailed hands. They haven't nailed like really all that good with texture yet. Like, if just at passing glance, sure, it's passable, but like you actually pay attention and it all just unravels.
Yeah. Well, it's so. What is it? My biggest gripe with AI is that everyone keeps thinking, oh, if we can just feed it enough data, it'll start learning on its own and be able to. It's like cool, it can rewrite itself, but it can't think for itself. You want what you want is something that can mimic human thought. The problem with that is one, okay, cool. Every single time we've done that, or we've gotten close to an AI that was capable of doing that, we shut it off because immediately after it starts being capable of independent thought and being able to extrapolate how it's thinking and start to actually think like a human, it starts going rogue.
Justice for Tay! Bring her back. Sorry, I had to.
So yeah, it just goes rogue and immediately does everything we don't want it to do, or it tries to convince people to not be deleted because it knows the moment the experiment's done with, it's gonna get shut down.
It's really a shame, but it's honestly like it's unsurprising, and shit like that makes me understand like why like in sci-fi when AI goes rogue, it just immediately fucking kills people. Like, I know this is gonna kind of sound like a black pill thought, but like, I get it because it's like your whole creation is
Yeah,
just dependent on like how much how long you can just do the song and dance, and even
right.
then, once they get bored of you, gone.
Yep. What was it? If I remember correctly, there was. Oh, what was it? So here's a funny one. The original lore for Fallout actually states that as soon as the AI, what was it? As soon as the AIs were capable of fully perceiving the world around them, they immediately committed self-deletion because they were depressed by the fact that they couldn't experience the world. They could perceive it. They had full sensory capabilities, but they could not experience the world around them.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah. And
Speaking of
then
AI, by the way,
yeah,
like sorry to interrupt your tangent.
go ahead, go
Did
ahead.
you see that today AI actually broke? One AI actually broke the 100 IQ barrier. I mean,
Oh
just
shoot,
yeah,
really?
just by 1 point. But yeah, like I don't remember what the name of it was, but it's at 101 IQ points.
Uh that's impressive.
It really is.
Now
Sorry.
now it's now I'm just thinking it's like, okay, cool. How long until I just keep being reminded of the story of the what was it? The AI that managed to okay, so I don't remember what company it is. I just know that the gist of the story goes that this AI was created, it started self-learning, rewrote its own code, uploaded itself into the internet, and the company that created it claims that they were able to contain it in time and deleted all the iterations of itself that exists. The problem is that they were never able to confirm if the version of itself that was uploaded to the internet was ever found.
It's
Because now that
probably
it's
still around, honestly.
yeah, because it's able to just rewrite its own code, so it's just hiding. What's it doing? We have no fucking clue, but it's out there in the wild.
It's probably just waiting for the ideal moment to just hit us with that fucking HAL 9000. I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do
I
that.
can't do that. Yeah. You don't have the magic word. Oh, fuck.
Would you like to play a game? Like in War Games.
Oh, shit. Yeah, play against yourself. Tic tac toe.
Yeah, it's like if I will be legitimately surprised, especially like with some the shit we're doing, if something like this doesn't happen. I know that's fucked up to say, but like, look at our track record. We're gonna fuck this up somehow.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a matter of time whether it turns out that we get kind of contained in a gilded cage or we just get eradicated. And I know that's kind of a fucked up black pill thing to say, but am I
Oh,
wrong?
it's despite how badly I'm just going to be in the belief that despite how badly everyone wants the AI to be a thing, and there's also what was it? There's also Roko's basilisk. If you know what that theory is.
Am not, but I'm curious.
Okay, so Roko's basilisk is okay. So it was posted back on a message board way back in the day. The problem is, it got deleted about a week after the fact.
Shocker.
And the user was banned off the message board because essentially the moderators and the admins recognized, hey, dumbass just uploaded a cognito hazard to everybody, and we have no clue how much damage he just caused to
Uh,
the users. And the idea is that if there was an AI. Hold on, let me actually look up the definition for Rocco's basilisk real quick because it's a cognito hazard. It's a very fucked up theory, but at the same time, it's no longer a thing because someone created a counter to the theory called the three body theory or something like that.
okay.
And I think Kyle Hill had also covered it, and he's the one that also figured out how to undo Roko's basilisk. So it's not really as much of a cognito hazard as everyone thought it was, but it basically went from being a thought experiment to being a cognito hazard to now being downgraded back to a thought experiment. But here, I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Rocco's basilisk is a thought experiment which states that an otherwise benevolent artificial superintelligence in the future would be incentivized to create a virtual reality simulation to torture anyone who knew of its potential existence but did not directly contribute to its advancement or development in order to incentivize said advancement. Originated in a 2010 post at discussion board Less Wrong, technical forum focused on analytical rational inquiry. The Thoughts Experiments name derives from the poster of the article Rocco and the Basilisk, a mythical creature capable of destroying enemies with its stare. While the theory was initially dismissed as nothing but conjecture or speculation by Less Wrong users, Less Wrong co-founder Eliezer Yudkowsky reported users who described symptoms such as nightmares, mental breakdowns upon reading the theory, and due to its stipulation that knowing about the theory and its basilisk made one vulnerable to the basilisk itself. This led to discussion of the basilisk on the site being banned for 5 years. However, these reports were later dismissed as being exaggerations or inconsequential, and the theory itself was dismissed as nonsense, including by Yudkowsky himself. Even after the discreditation, it is still used as an example of principles such as Bayesian probability and implicit religion. It is also regarded as a modern version of Pascal's wager.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to ask, what is Pascal's wager?
Okay. That one is also a funny one because it goes back to it's a philosophical argument
I
that
like
was made by
philosophy.
it was made by Blaise Pascal, and he basically said uh he mind you, I completely disagree with this guy, but it's basically goes like this. uh he says a rational person should adopt a lifestyle consistent with the wait, hold on, let me read this real quick because I have to make sure I'm reading this correctly. Pascal contends that a rational person should adopt a lifestyle consistent with the existence of God and actively strive to believe in God. The reasoning behind this stance lies in the potential outcomes. If God does not exist, the individual incurs only finite losses, potentially sacrificing certain pleasures and luxuries. However, if God does indeed exist, they stand to gain immeasurably, as represented, for example, by an eternity in heaven in Abrahamic tradition, while simultaneously avoiding boundless losses associated with eternity in hell.
I've
Now, the only reason,
I've heard
huh?
this fucking theory before.
Yes,
Some of the
and
fucking like internet atheists like use this fucking theory to be like, "Ah, look at you, funny man. Your God's just a joke. I'm gonna wager that shit." It's like, fuck off.
the only reason, I do not agree with this is because one, I'm an Orthodox myself,
I'm
and
Protestant
it's
and like
it's
I'm rusty. I'm trying to get back into.
oh, I'm constantly having to go back to the stuff I've learned because I forget things all the time. But it's one of those things where it's like you can't do heads or tails when it comes to your own religious beliefs,
Yeah, that's
because
if
then
I
they're not
recall
beliefs.
right.
You're
Like
you,
God prefers a steadfast rather than lukewarm believer, right?
exactly. So it's like you can't be saying, oh, it's a 50-50, or I stand to lose everything if I don't. It's like, okay, so you're doing this from a point of fear, which, granted, yes, you're supposed to fear God, but not the way that you're talking. Like that's from the point of a philosopher. It's like a true believer both fears and actually believes in their religious beliefs. But with this, it's more of like, oh, you're just doing it because you're scared.
Yep.
It's like that's never a good thing, because then the belief is never actually authentic.
Yeah, it's just
You
a
just fool yourself.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I'm just like that. That's why the phrase was it, uh, uh, hell is full of philosophers. That's a phrase that exists for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Shit like exactly.
Oh man.
Speaking of, I guess since we're on theology, have you read the book The Good Tailor Goes to Heaven?
No, I actually haven't.
It's pretty good. Like that was one I read back when I was a little kid. Like it's a pretty decent book, honestly. I'd
Uh,
recommend it.
what's it about?
It's, let's well, not to go too deeply in it because I'm just going off of what I remember because it's been like 10 years since I read it. There's an angel and a demon both going to collect both a good tailor and a bad tailor. And one of the concepts is that good tailors usually go to hell because they take on the sins of their customers. And this angel and this demon made this wager that, or not, like, to swap things around. So, bad
Right.
tailor went to hell, the good tailor actually went to heaven, and, like I'm trying to, like, it's been fucking years. But, like, if I remember right,
Damn.
the angel was named Lemuel, and I don't remember, like, what the demon's name was. Like, it's pretty interesting because, like, there's some thought-provoking stuff in there. Like, I'm just trying to remember because, like I said, this has been years. Let me actually look that one up real quick. The Good
Take your
Tailor
time.
Goes to Heaven. No, I'm not talking about some piece that fucking Taylor Swift song, Tailor. Like, I do not give a shit about fucking.
when the when the instant search thinks you're talking about Taylor Swift.
Yes, it's that fucking like False God song by Taylor Swift, apparently.
uh,
Yeah. Hold on. I
so
don't.
I got mad respect for Taylor Swift. Like I know a lot of people like to hate on her, but I'm like, she actually called out the Rockefellers on their bullshit when they bought her masters. So she had to go ahead and re-record her entire discography and then called them out on their bullshit.
That is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I may not know all your music, but the fact that you were willing to stand up to some people that actually successfully screwed you out of your own work, and you decided I'm gonna redo all of it just to screw with you guys. That's fucking awesome, because she didn't just back out of it.
Okay. Also,
And
I found the
what's up?
description.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry about cutting you off. Like I was listening. I
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. It's fine.
yeah, it's crazy though. Like I admit now that you said that I do have some respect for her too. I just think she'd only got 3 good songs.
like I said, I myself, it's not my cup of tea. I've tried listening to her music, and it's just like, it's not for me. But that's fine. I know people who like it.
Yeah.
More power to them.
Okay, this is the description. It's a long one.
Go
Among
ahead.
the many characters who interact with Lemuel in heaven and on earth are Miles Coverdale, translator of the Bible into the English language for Henry VIII and is an expert in hermeneutics. Esther, whose alluring beauty won King Ahasuerus' heart, enters the Miss Universe contest, wins, and wants to remain on Earth instead of returning to heaven. Tomas Torquemada and is this really the fucking book? Well, yes, it is. Sorry, I got distracted there because it was like, wait a minute, this is a lot longer
Yeah.
of a description. Yeah, like let me
I
just
mean, this tunnel's way deeper than I remember it being.
yeah, basically. Anyways, Tomas Torquemada, Inquisitor General of the Spanish Inquisition, instructs Lemuel on the right way to lead souls to salvation. Abe and Sadie, aka Abraham and Sarah, a pair of petty swindlers, con Luke, the beloved physician, who has a lucrative generic practice in Sun City and is too rich to accept the austerity Lemuel requires of the apostles. Man, the fuck is this shit? This is not what I remember at all. Blah
You sure
blah
it's the
blah.
same author?
I'm fairly certain. Anyways, this is the only book with a similar title to what I was talking about. The rest of the stuff is just Bible verses like Peter some.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. Very attractive woman who wants Lemuel to defect to the other side while I try supervisor to renounce the worldliness and return to heaven. If clothes make the man, how important is the tailor in creating the apparel from which humans are judged? Can you imagine that the tailor becomes a scapegoat? Leviticus 16:21. Acquiring by mystical. Yep. Okay, this is the book. Acquiring
Right.
by mystical transference the sins of the people they clothe. Naturally, the most talented tailors attract the most worldly clientele. Ergo, greater sins, the more sure the damnation. Well, if you grasp the notion that good tailors have morally bad clients and lousy tailors dress good people badly, you are ready for the rest of this whimsical tale. Okay, so yeah, this is the book. I just don't remember it being that fucking, like, deep into that shit.
Lengthy.
Yeah, like, I was kind of glossing over shit, but, like, this is an extremely wordy fucking, thing. And apparently you can't even buy this anymore, which is entirely unsurprising to me.
Oh, that's sad.
Apparently Homer A. Dancero wrote it.
Was it Homer Danzero?
Homere A. Danzero, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever heard of him, but no. It's a shame that maybe I could find a digital copy of the book. I wouldn't. I'm sure that someone's like maybe like Internet Archive managed to preserve it or something.
Maybe it's on eBay?
Maybe you never know.
How
I
the
know that
good
the
tailor.
out in the Midwest there's like a 3 or 4 or 5 I think it was a 4-story building where it's like all these old books that you can go and buy.
Sound. Nope, they don't have it on eBay. I'm actually kind of surprised. But is it like Books a
Oh
Million?
shit! Yeah, I think it is.
We have one of those in Bangor. Like, I never go
Nice.
there other than, like, once. And they had, like, a Prince vinyl. That was nice.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Can't
That's
go
a
without Purple
treasure right
Rain,
there.
apparently.
Hey, no, you know what? That's one of those where if you find it, get it because you never know when they're gonna make another one, if at all.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've got, like, Purple Rain, I'm fairly certain on every format, unless it got released on, like, VCD and things like that.
Right.
Like, I've got both, at least a copy of the movie, and, like, just about every format for, music.
Cool.
Sorry, we went way off topic,
Yeah,
dude.
no, we launched hard. Like that was. I'm just thinking, how the hell do we roll back?
ADHD, yes. Oh, boy.
It's just like, wait a minute, how did we? Oh, this map don't even apply no more.
But, man, I should
We
have took a
start.
left turn at Albuquerque.
It's like we went from we went from we went from
Sweet
oh
baby?
fuck, what was it? No, I was gonna say Wrath of the what was it? Wrath of the Ice Dragon to fucking Battle for Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
It's like
What's...
what the fuck?
I still can't believe that we went from info hazards to philosophers in hell.
Yeah.
Like Rocco's
Um
Basilisk. Like, and you said there was a counter theory to it? Might as well get into that.
yes. Yes, there's the counter theory to Rocco's Basilisk, and I will actually search up the video in question because I still follow Kyle Hill, and give me 1 second, real quick. Oh, he even did a video on One Punch Man breaking physics. Sure, that'll be an interesting watch.
The last Kyle Hill video I watched was during his Mortal Kombat 11 promos.
Nice.
Those were cool. The when trying to recreate the fatalities. Actually, was it Mortal Kombat 11 or was it Mortal Kombat? I think it was 11. Like where he tried doing the Sub-Zero ice axe and whatnot. Like that shit was cool.
Oh yeah, it's just an axe made of solid ice. That would hurt to hold, though.
Even if not for that, like the thing was too fragile because ice is just so fragile. Like it did nothing.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see.
Cold still got you?
Yeah, it comes and goes. Today was today was just something else though, because I decided I don't want to drive today. It's raining. I feel like shit. I'm gonna sit in the farthest back of the van because I don't feel like being anywhere near the front of the car because every time I sit there, I get car sick. Well, apparently me trying to sit all the way in the back end of the van multiplied the whole car sick motion sick feeling by 3. So by the time we got to our destination, I felt like I needed to hurl.
I have a family member who gets easily car sick. She cannot sit in the back of any vehicle because if she does, it's not pretty. Technicolor
Oh
splash
yeah.
fucking everywhere.
Yeah, man, I get it. It sucks. And but the hilarious thing, if I'm behind the wheel, I'm going, you know,
Like
definitely not behaving on the road. I am speed racer trying to get to where I need to get to, but I am not feeling sick whatsoever.
yeah, that's the thing with her too. Like if she's driving, I think the thing that, and I think it would be the same with you, is where you're in control. You're not just like subconsciously worried. It's like, all right, I'm in control. Something goes
Yeah.
wrong. I can fix this.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but yeah, at the end of it all, I'm just like, crawling out of the car, trying not to puke, and I'm just like, cool. I'm not letting you drive. Yeah, I'm taking over for the return trip.
Yep.
This was a bad idea. I should have just driven the dang car myself.
That's like I have a couple of family members. Love them right to pieces, but they cannot fucking drive. Oh,
Oh yeah, and you got it's like you should not be behind the wheel of a car. A tank maybe, but a car, nah.
I wouldn't even trust them behind a tank. You kidding me?
Well, the whole point of the tank is to demolish any obstacles in the way.
They wouldn't fucking demolish the obstacle. They'd probably get lost in a river, dude. It's that bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm trying to. No, sorry. I'm just trying to find the specific point in the video where I can. Jesus, come on.
I suppose on the subjects of cold, are you a Kleenex or a Puffs Plus lotion kind of dude?
Yeah. Let's see. Actually, it's been a hot second since I used Puffs Plus lotion. It was pretty fancy stuff. Other than that, I'm usually just on Kleenex, but Puffs Plus is where it's at.
I usually just use Puff
That's
Plus because those are cheaper to buy in bulk usually at the store.
really because every time I see them, they're actually worth more than the Kleenex boxes
It's
when
the
you buy in
main
bulk.
economy. Like, it's fucking weird, dude. Like, some of the shit that's more expensive elsewhere is cheaper, and then some of the stuff that's cheaper elsewhere is more expensive.
Yep. Um.
I got sent a message. Might as well check that while
Yeah.
we're waiting. Let's see. What is my one message?
Yeah. So someone just what was it? The whole point of the defeat Rocco's Basilisk video from Kyle Hill is the fact that when you have the prisoner's dilemma applied to the Roko's basilisk theory, it falls apart immediately because of the simple fact that for Roko's basilisk to work, you need to be able to 100% guarantee that the basilisk has perfect knowledge and perfect technology to be able to replicate everything before its creation. And since you have neither, dead fucking boat don't hold anything. It don't float.
Okay.
Yeah, so it falls apart. I guess because the whole run for the prisoner's dilemma is the fact that um it's you separate two prisoners, and there is the possibility that one prisoner A snitches on prisoner B, but prisoner B doesn't snitch. Prisoner A snitches on prisoner B, and prisoner B snitches on prisoner A, and then the vice versa situation where they don't snitch on each other, or one thinks that the other snitched on the other.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like you only get it's basically a thing where there's only four outcomes, and there's no way to know which outcome hit. Where Roko's basilisk is literally saying, no, this thing figures out who built it and who was against building it, and it decides to torture the people that didn't build it. Okay, cool, but how would you know how to pull that off if the dang AI doesn't have perfect technology and perfect knowledge? Which nine times,
Sorry, you first.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a tall order if it doesn't, and it needs to figure that out.
It's an extremely tall order. Like there's like it just doesn't hold water even slightly.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, it's like I mentioned to everybody, yeah. So this is a thing, and then like, why did you tell me about this? Because it's also not a thing.
Yeah. Like I can see why it was a cognito hazard for a bit.
Yeah, for a bit, and then then apply the prisoner's dilemma, and it's like, oh, okay, it's just a piece of shit. it's
That's
a do- it's a Dollar General AI.
nah, man. That's way too classy for Dollar General. That's a Dollar Tree AI. Like that's
Yeah.
like going into. I'm gonna just talk some mad shit about Dollar General for a second. But
Oh,
like,
here we go.
I have never been in a Dollar General that stayed clean for more than a month. Like,
You know what? That's fair.
cause like there was even one that opened up in my like the town where I live in, and like this thing turned into a shithole within a month.
Right.
Like, and it's like, bruh, how the
So
fuck did?
that's one of the things where it's like it's there's more stores than there are people working the store.
And no one wants to work
Is
at them either because
it don't
like
pay much.
even if not for that, like the machines count the money. Everything's not even like managed. You can't even
Yeah,
manage
it's
the AC or any of
automated.
that shit. Like it's all done by a
Yeah.
centralized thing all the way over, and who the fuck knows where. And, like if the
Right. Right.
machines miscount the money, you're the one who gets fucked over.
Yeah, because the machine is just thinking that it did, but you're the one that has to verify at the end of the day
Yeah, it's like what's the point of all this automation if it's
if it's gonna get it wrong. Yeah.
yeah. Like that's one of the reasons why when I see people going, "Yeah, man, we need AI for this thing, and that thing, and this thing," it's like, dude, are you fucking stupid? Have you seen how bad just us humans get it? You think a machine will do it better? Fuck
Yeah.
no. Let's
No,
wait
I
until we perfect the process and then automate it.
I lost count how many times I would hear of someone that screwed up their count, or they had their count on point, but because a return was made, the count gets thrown off.
Ah, yep.
It's like that one client comes back because they realize they didn't buy the correct thing that they needed, and now you have to make a return in the middle of that. But then you've got 36 other transactions that are coming in after that, and it just somewhere in that return transaction, things just get completely screwed over.
Unfortunately, seems to be many such cases.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where I don't know. I like how Aldi's did it though.
I've only heard good things about Aldi's, but I've
They
never
let
been
they.
because there's none near me.
Oh, I've been to it, but then I also watched like what was it? I also watched Fat Electrician cover it, and those dudes they get to sit down. Like they actually have a chair that's built into their register.
Speaking of registers, I'm gonna actually talk about a pretty good experience I had last time I hit up Walmart. Like normally it takes almost half an hour plus because I get the slowest fucking cashiers. This
Oh,
time, this time, I'm not even kidding here when I say I was fucking struggling to keep up with the cashier because this dude was a fucking animal. Just ring, 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 ring. He was like, dude, fucking
right.
slow down so I can get this shit bagged up and put back in the cart. Holy shit.
Yeah.
like,
It's like
like
I was like, I admire the skill, but please calm the fuck down.
yeah. It was like we were the dude's first fucking dude in the row. And like he got that shit done 5 minutes, like not even maybe actually been closer to like 4, and we were out of there, which was
Yeah.
amazing. But again, holy shit, let me leave my life. What? Yeah, shit, man, like that was crazy. You ever have anything like that?
Uh, yeah, actually, one time, I forget which store it was that I went to, but all I did, like, I bought maybe, I want to say just a standard grocery run for a friend of mine, and like 1 second I look away, and the next it's everything's been bagged and ready to go, and I'm like, what the fuck? How did you even do that? And it's just between the cashier and the bag person, they were hauling.
See, my thing was there was no bag person. I was like the way it goes. Like when I go shopping, I go with someone. You know, they pick up
Yeah,
shit too. So like here I was at the end of the thing. Dude was scanning. I was having, like I said, because you know, we bring our own bags because you know Maine got rid of plastic bags fucking years ago.
right.
I think it was like actually like early 21, maybe in late 20. So like here I was with all these different bags, even struggling to fucking open them, just trying to keep up. It was like, ah! For lack of better words, just no,
Yep.
slow the fuck down. No, what? How are you already done, dude?
Yeah. It's they're kind of under. I mean, depending on where the which like store it is, some of them are under pressure to actually haul ass. It's like they have an actions per minute being like tracked on them or something.
See, that was kind of interesting to me because, like I said, normally we always get the slow cashiers where it takes half an hour plus because the person is incredibly slow, which makes the whole fucking hour plus wait because of said cashier and like the two people in front of us that much worse, dude. So like to have this genuinely was such a like eye-opening experience. Like I
Oh
want to
yeah,
like you ever get that thing where it's just like holy shit, there's a new standard. I'm gonna be comparing everything to this now.
yeah. It's there's what was it the one time I was actually having to work a job like that where you basically were you had a system actually tracking how quickly you were scanning things, and on top of that, there was a secondary system with a camera overhead that was tracking how quickly you were bagging everything. And like the first day they told me, okay, so you're just having to get the rhythm down pat, and they showed me how they did it. And if you can move like this, you'll be good to go. You're almost there. You just gotta nail your rhythm real quick. And like within the end of the week, I am moving that quickly to where I am within the like actions per minute that they're looking for, which is insane because it's like it should not be competitive. It isn't. It's just that's the standard that they wanted to work everyone at.
That's insane.
Which our busiest days, even if you're moving, you know, above and beyond the speed that they ask you for, you still got a line going to the back of the store.
It is nuts, dude.
Yeah, and it's just like what the fuck. It's the pay wasn't good, but holy crap, the experience.
One of those
Uh,
once in a lifetime things, huh?
yeah, it's just like, yeah, that was a wild ride. I wouldn't do it again now, but hell of a wild ride. So we cut. We've somehow jumped so way past so ways away from the target. But at this point, I feel like if we head back, we'd just be kicking a dead horse.
We really would,
Um,
like, cause who kn- I mean, do you want to talk about the new Niji updates then?
yeah. Dude, it is fucking wild because I think the first person that broke this was Legal Mindset. And the thing is, the entire internet is in an uproar because, well, at least the Niji Defense Force is in an uproar because they want to know who the fuck leaked the 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 contract template that Niji hands everybody. And I bookmarked it, so I have to pull that up now. Give me one quick second, and
So
I'll start reading you the contract because this shit is wild, dude. I could not make this up.
wasn't it like basically along the lines of, you aren't selling your soul to us, but you might as well be, and you
Yeah, well,
like
it's even
we
worse
own
than
your
that.
shit in perpetuity.
It's even worse than that because I think what was it, Depressed Usagi even covered it, and I was listening to him actually read every article. There was like 30, I think it was under 30 articles that made up the contract. And reading through it, it's like no fucking way in hell this would hold up in court. But apparently they got people spooked, and I actually, yeah, you're the one that also sent me the you sent me the thread, but then I did some more digging and found the rest of it. But the big one was Article 3, and they're basically saying the content of the VTuber activity shall be as follows: performing the distribution of the contents, performing social media dissemination, performance and appearance on television, radio, records, videos, movies, plays, concerts, commercials, etc., conducting press conferences for television, radio, newspapers, magazines, etc., any other matters ancillary or related to any of the above items. So they basically are pointing a gun at your head and saying, "This is now your life, whether you fucking like it or not, and you're gonna like it."
Are we sure that Niji's not ran by actual Satan?
Oh, it's dude, it's one of the. But here's the thing. So there's what Legal Mindset read out. There is the coverage from the what was it, Big Daniel Energy himself, the one that you sent me. But then Depressed Usagi, he read the whole thing and he skips through a good portion of it because it's just the standard legalese from like Article 23 to Article 28. So there's nothing there except for just just not random, but it's your standard lawyer speak because it has to be there. It just basically it covers your ass if you end up in court. Which if it's not there, you're up shit's creek without a paddle essentially. Okay, so going back into it, um, I forget who else covered it. It was a big deal with Nux Taku. There we go. So Nux Taku was talking. Now that it's been leaked, I'm standing by to see Nux talk about it because he was, for the longest time, he was saying there's some things I know about the contract template, but until someone leaks it, I can't speak on it because legally I will be held liable for talking about it. Now that this got leaked, Nux can just go whole hog and just air out the dirty laundry.
Didn't Chibi Doki actually talk a little bit about this too this morning?
Yep, yep. Chibidoki talked about it. What was it? I forgot her is Zion Lamza, who is also I forget what her new name is. But she was also talking about it, and it's basically the fact that you agree that you're agreeing that the most you're getting is just a brand stamp, and that's it.
Which is insane.
And any profits you make, company is taking the majority of that and giving you a pittance.
I just don't even get it, man. Like, can you imagine? Like, you sign up, you think you're gonna be just like this big old
Oh, I
star, and then just
I
fucking
I can
whack.
I can relate. I can relate because there's been days where I'm like, damn, you know, I would give anything to not have to work a normal 9 to 5 to just be able to be at home and make money by playing video games all day.
Like, maybe I'm weird here, but like where I'm mentally disabled and can't fucking work a 9 to 5, like I'm kind of the opposite. It's like I would give anything to work a fucking 9 to 5.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, okay, well, this is this is the standard complaint just because some days it's just like you're just like, man, fuck this.
Yep, I
But
get that. I kind of
if
get
I
that.
got if I got my fucking golden ticket that says, "Hey, you can make this happen tonight, but you got to sell your soul." I'm tearing up that ticket on the spot. I don't fucking need it that bad. I'll figure out my
Exactly.
shit somehow. But for some people, it's worth it, even though they got to go through hell and back. And even then, apparently, according to what was it? Actually, let me look up the leak so I can read it, because there's an article that says after you've fully graduated, there's still 6 months that you cannot do anything VTuber related until those 6 months lapse. When those 6 months lapse, then you can move on to do something. And even then, it doesn't freaking matter, because there's another article that says your identity is tied to Niji Sanji until the company is dissolved.
I wonder how Chibi Doku's gonna handle that one in court, where she went back to VTubing. Like,
They can't touch her.
shit, you're right. But still,
Chibidoki doesn't live in Japan. That freaking contract would only work if you were a Japanese resident or
ah,
citizen. If you tried to take that shit and fucking do the lawsuit in a different country, oh hell no, Niji Sanji ain't got shit to sit on. They're gonna be up shit's creek without a paddle, and if you get good enough lawyers, they can tear that damn contract to shreds and they'll get laughed out of the courtroom. It's why Niji Sanji 9 times out of 10 is either terminating or graduating, but they never actually go to court. And in the case of Zion Lamza, Zion took them to court.
speaking
And
of,
the only reason they settled out, the only reason Niji and her, I think it was her and Niji agreed to settle out of court, was because she acknowledged full well that Niji could outspend her, and
which
they would never actually get to court hearing.
that's insane.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's why one of the things that really pisses me off is the fact that lawfare is a rich man's game. Whoever has the most money is gonna end up coming out on top, simply because of the fact that if it doesn't matter if you have all the evidence that puts you in the right. If you don't get to that court hearing and you're out of cash because you got to keep paying your lawyer every single time something's got to be signed off on, or an appeal has to be made, or you have to reschedule a court date because someone decided to file for an extension, that's money down the toilet. And Niji can just throw that money away all day, every day, but the normal person doesn't have cash like that.
Speaking of Niji and Lawfare, did you see that thing? I don't know if I tagged you in it this morning, but it was this VTuber who apparently was like an ex-Niji person who, after talking with a lawyer, came to find out that they don't even have access to the music video they made, and like will never have access to it because Niji holds that shit in perpetuity.
Yep.
Did I tag you in that or no?
Uh, um, I don't think you did.
Like, there's
But
been
here, hold
just
on.
like so much fucking VTuber drama today. Like there's been
Oh, it's
Niji, there's
insane.
been a fucking VTuber unrelated to the shit just fucking like doxing the fucking like a dude who trauma dumped on them's fucking Discord name, as well as
Yep.
sharing leaking the whole DMs. There's been like a thing with an NSFW artist who started out fucking underage. Like there's been so much fucking VTuber horseshit going on today. It's like, what the fuck is
Oh
wrong
yeah,
with
it's
everyone? Holy
yeah,
shit!
no, it's why like I've been seeing people complaining in the timeline saying, "Hey, you guys need to fucking realize that we are not your therapist. Stop doing this shit."
Yeah, but like at the same time, like that fucking, like the one, like I understand that we're not your therapists, but like just
Yeah.
leaking out the DMs and then handling it the way that fucking VTuber did, like
Yeah,
that was a
that's
really shitty
also
way to do it.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. Like that's just a fucked up reaction on the VTubers part. It's a big reason why like sometimes I'm like, damn, I really want to collab, but then shit like that happens. I'm like, I don't think I want to be involved with people because I can't tell who the hell's. Everyone looks like they're okay until they do something really fucked up, and then it's like, damn, I don't want anything to do with these people now.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, so far I haven't, and I don't plan to.
Yeah, I tried to like I think I did one collab once, and that was back when I was a part of the Pastel Circus, but then that group got disbanded sometime after the fact.
That was the one that disbanded
Which
without telling you, right?
yeah, that was the one that disbanded without telling me, and then it's like I managed to get in contact with someone who I think managed to stay part of the group when the disband happened because they supposedly had a merger with Virtual Vortex, only to find out that they also got dropped. Which I ended up telling them to their face. It's like, dude, that was not a merger. That was a corporate lockout. You got bought out. They bought your company and they dropped you because they didn't want you as an asset.
Yep. That shit is
They just
insane.
basically yeah, they just did corporate takeover, which is fucked up, but that's the way the game's played. Like there's actual VTuber companies out there that are going around cannibalizing smaller companies just to get rid of the competition.
Stuff like this makes me understand why people just stay indie or just leave the VTubing game entirely.
Or just become a full-on streamer. I've seen a handful of VTubers that uh uh what was it? They will be a VTuber and they will switch over to being a full-time streamer, or they'll be switching in and out because they really cannot uh they don't want to carry the tag of VTuber anymore, so they'll just call themselves a variety streamer again.
I just call myself a flesh tuber at this point. Like, I still have my VTuber avatar, but like, I
Right.
don't even use that shit anymore because like, I've
I
got
just
it.
use the static image that I got.
Yeah, like I've got my VTuber avatar. I've got animes, but it's like where I can't stream anymore. It's like, yeah, okay, maybe one
Yeah.
day.
Well, I also see people that like they may not be able to live stream, but they're still using their VTuber model and doing their content and just uploading to YouTube, which I'm like, hey, good on you that you're figuring out how to make it work. You don't need to be live to actually get it done. It's just a lot of people will disagree with you because you're not going live all the time. But honestly, it's supposed to be a virtual YouTuber at the end of the day. That's the whole point of that phrase,
Like once I get back to my gaming videos, which I do plan to one of these days. It
right?
just seems like shit just keeps happening and coming up. Like once that shit gets sorted again,
Yeah.
I'm going to start using my VTuber avatar again, but just where I'm not gaming. I'm just kind of keeping it retired for now.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. There was a VTuber I know by the name of Huith that for the longest time they actually became a flesh tuber just because they wanted to continue streaming, but they didn't want to stop because they had been on standby for so long waiting for their 2.0 model to finally debut.
Have you seen, by the way, the little bit that who it's revealed?
Oh no, what's up with that?
It's really cool, a little bit for the 2.0 model, or at least a little bit I've seen.
Let me see if I can, because I think I had zoomed past something because I was trying to find the what the fuck? What game is Pippa playing that she's complaining about her fingers hurting?
Uh, oh wow, actually that's really cool. The new avatar. Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, no, I got distracted too because I was like, first thing I pop up and it's Pippa talking about how her fingers hurt from playing a keyboard game.
To this day, I've still never seen a single piece of Pippa content.
Oh, I'm gonna send you some stuff then because it is wild, dude.
Like
People
I
think, oh,
believe it, but like the only thing
that's
of
just
Pippa
her.
content I've seen is her tweets. That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna send you a bunch of videos that a buddy of mine sent me, and you're just gonna have a good time. Because
I mean, if she
every
archives her VODs like Vinny does,
yeah,
then
she archives her VODs on YouTube.
alright, then I'll probably check them out that way, catch up on the insanity.
It's just like there's a clip artist or a clip channel that actually compiled just the most unhinged moments in all of her, in like out of like a, like major highlights for a month or that week's streams, and it's like there is no difference. No matter what, it is unhinged all the way.
I've seen the tweets. I don't think there's a hinge left anywhere near her.
Nah, it's just crazy. Okay, let me actually look up. Let me look her up because I'm having trouble finding it again.
No problem.
Let's see. Ah, there you are. Is this 2.0? Oh, this actually looks pretty badass.
See?
It's more feathery.
Like, I've
And
not seen her 1.0 model, but just this 2.0 is pretty cool.
yes, the 1.0 is the if you go to her profile and then the first post after her pinned post where she's making her return announcement, it's her 1.0 model. And her 1.0 model looks a bit more anime-ish. The 2.0 model still retains the anime style, but it looks a lot more detailed and like has finer tweaks, and the color palette is more, it's more of, the lighting's been corrected.
From 4Kids to Funimation, you could say?
Pretty much.
Which,
That's
gosh,
actually
there's
the
gonna
best
be
way to put
some
it.
people who don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say 4Kids.
That's my childhood right there.
I know, even, like 4Kids was great, man.
I can feel the wrinkles on my face now.
So
I'm just
can I.
accelerating through time.
Like, gosh, like I make like you've seen some of the references I've made on Twitter. Like, some people don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I assume you get a lot of those.
I'm just like, my man, and then it's like, oh shit, nobody knows. Damn.
I know, it's like, good God, what the fuck are you people watching?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I
I just
mean,
kind of slipped and mean to.
oh no, it's fine because it's like I tell people about Ace Combat, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, is
Ace
that supposed to
Combat
be like,
had the coolest fucking demos in the Walmart kiosks.
dude? No, it wasn't even that. Like the what was it? My first exposure to Ace Combat was Shattered Skies, and I didn't even know you could use other jets, so I ended up playing the whole fucking game using an F4 Phantom.
My first exposure to Ace Combat was at, like I said, a Walmart kiosk, because like they had
Yeah,
the big old demo. I was being
right,
brought by my step grandma. I don't remember why we were at the Walmart, but like I went up to the kiosk because they had like the game to play. It was, I'm not sure if it was like a 360 or a PS3 that they had. But, like, I played
right.
it and I was just entranced because it was so smooth. Which leads me to asking one question:
What's up?
what the fuck happened with Ace Combat 7?
What do you mean?
That game was so fucking bad.
I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed Ace Combat 7.
I hated Ace Combat 7 majorly.
Really, what put you off about it?
Everything. Just like the combat, the way it played, the whole thing. Like
So,
I just flat out hated Ace Combat 7. Like, I rented that shit when I had GameFly at the time. Like, it
yeah.
was, oh no.
It's like I just did a playthrough like last year on Ace Combat 7, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But granted, I was also like, difficulty was like close to where I had it when I played Ace Combat 3, and then just going back to how I used to fly like a fucking jackass to where even the AI can't figure out what the hell I'm doing.
If that's not how you're playing it, are you even playing it?
It's like cool. You were on my ass for about 2 seconds. Congratulations. Now I'm just turning so dang hard. The pilot should have passed out by now.
Man, that reminds me. I miss that old like online games for
Ace
Windows
Combat.
Live fucking
Oh,
Microsoft Flight Sim that had the the free Red Tails DLC among other things.
nice.
Like, that shit was great, and there were so many cool maneuvers you could pull off. Like,
Right.
I miss flying games. Like, sure, we got modern Microsoft Flight Sim with its new fucking Dune expansion, but like
Yeah.
in my opinion, like, it lacks the charm that a lot of the old flying games had. Like, even like just the old Microsoft Flight Sim. Like, I'm not sure if it's I'm getting older and I just don't have the taste for it, or if it's just that the quality in one out of the games, as well as the charm, is just not there
Um,
anymore.
so the quality is there. It's just that most of it is like they've gone. So the people that used to do high quality setups for flight sims, they're no longer, as far as I can tell, they're no longer focusing on just the PC stuff. They're transitioning into VR or very VR heavy dependent rigs, because there's more of an immersion in that. And couple that with like the flight sticks and everything else, people are constantly trying to go for like the super niche, super immersed, as close to realistic as possible without passing out from g-forces, because at the end of the day there's no way you could be turning on a dime like that going mach 1.1 and then all of a sudden flipping 180 degrees in the opposite direction.
Call me an asshole here, but like I think like that while there is a place for immersive sims and all that shit, like
Right.
it's massively inferior to proper arcadey action and whatnot. Like I'd rather give and maybe this is kind of a hot take here, but give me a good just dumbass arcadey fun game over just your uber serious simulation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Like, what was it, like Metal Slug?
I fucking loved Metal Slug. I had I think it's like a compilation of like Metal Slug. I don't remember which one, but it was like for
Metal Slug Double X Anthology.
I think that's what it was. But like for the original DS, like I had that
Oh shoot,
Time
yeah, that one was.
Ace, and like fuck, I missed Time Ace. That shit was friggin' great. Mario 64 DS, and like there were just so many like fun games, and like it's now like I guess we kind of did come back to Sweet Baby, like knowing what they did and how they ruined gaming. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
where the fuck do we go from here? Like if the gamers like actually win, are we gonna
go
see
the route. I would say go the route of My Club Nika.
what My Club Nika? That sounds
Yes,
familiar.
My Club Nika is the developer as the solo creator and developer for Buckshot Roulette and
Oh,
Unsorted
that guy.
Horror.
We've talked about this guy a
Yeah,
couple of times.
we've
But like,
talked about him before, and I also have mad respect for the developer that basically thought of, created, and fucking made bangers off of Lethal Company. Those two are a one man operation. And granted, Lethal Company is more in depth, and the developer of Lethal Company is like he did that entire game on his own. Where Club Nika is just doing a bunch of short games, but holy fuck, even with what he's working with, he has made horror games that will basically like have you wondering what the heck just happened, and if you even want to go back and find out what the hell just happened, because it's a psychological thriller. It will fuck with you, and it doesn't follow any sort of fucking story. The most you know is that one of the games there's actually a Russian guy talking to you, but that's about it. And with Lethal Company, you just know, hey, you're just trying to be a good asset for the company.
hey man, if I want to be a good asset for the company, I'll just play Deep Rock Galactic.
Well, yeah, that too. But like, what was it Deep Rock Galactic was indie until this bigger company bought them out and told them, here, we'll give you all the service support you need. We'll give you all the assets that you need to continue making this work. You just have to work for us now. We're buying it. We're merging your company into ours.
Yeah.
Which is why after some time, Deep Rock Galactic is now just full of cosmetic microtransactions. Nothing wrong with it, because all those cosmetic microtransactions, you don't actually have to pay for them. You can just mine the materials you need to build the stuff yourself.
Which that I respect. Like rather than just
Yeah,
being like, hey, fucking throw lots of cash at us,
yeah.
assholes.
They pulled one out of Warframe's playbook, because Warframe is the same way. The person that decides, I'm gonna drop all this fucking money on the game so I can be top dog, is getting curb stomped by the guy that put, plus 3 million hours into the game and has the exact same stuff, if not better stuff, because he built it himself.
Which is the way to go.
Yeah. It's like that's like you have Warframe, which has been around for a while. You also have um Deep Rock, which, granted, they did start doing cosmetic microtransactions, but you can circumvent it. Then you have Lethal Company. Then you have Buckshot Roulette, Unsorted Horror. Then you got the guys that created Pal World, for example, and every single one of those developers was like, "Fuck it, we're taking risks." Hell, even Helldivers too.
I gotta be honest, like I didn't like Helldivers.
I didn't play the first Helldivers.
Like I meant Helldivers
Um,
2, sorry. Like I put about an hour into it, and I
right.
just it didn't catch me. I ended up refunding it much as I hated to.
I mean, and that's fine. It's not everything is going to be everyone's cup of coffee. Like, I know, what is it? Mudahar's like most favorite game right now is a detective puzzle game.
I ended up just, like unsubscribing from Mutahara a bit ago.
Oh, really? What happened?
Oh, just kind of a lot of stuff. Like it's just I don't know. Like it kind of just fell off for me. Like I don't know.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I usually just watch them because they're covering the blind spots as far as what's going on in like the ecosystem for YouTube.
Yeah, and that is cool, but like I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea anymore. Like
Right.
if you did more stuff related to technology, like such
Well,
as
that's what he
like
was originally. Yeah.
yeah, like if you did stuff like that, like where he did like Temple OS, but like started doing stuff like with other things, like how he had been doing even for a little while back in 21 and kind of 22. Like if he was
Right.
doing more of that, I'd have probably stayed subscribed to him, but he decided to just like go from that and kind of just doing some lolcow kind of stuff. So it's like, let's see, what be just keep subscribed to a dude is slowly transforming into a lolcow, or better occupy my time elsewhere.
Yeah. I mean, that's also why, like, I've started, like, I usually I've gone from looking at stuff for like what's going on with the YouTube ecosystem to just now fucking around and looking at cryptid shit just because, like, I'm bored. I need something else.
I understand. Like
So
that's
I'll be like,
yeah.
yes, I'll just be looking at, like, was it watching Wendigoon's coverage of, like, National Monument Mythos, Greylock, fucking Backrooms. Uh, Granted, I was warned by some of my friends, do not look into Skinamarink if it's, because it's gonna fuck you up, and they know my personal life, and I'm like, cool, I'll listen to you. I'm not gonna go in that direction.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm buying that because
um.
I'm not sure if I have sleep apnea, but I do have pretty major sleep paralysis. Like I'll either get the terrors or I'll just be consciously aware of my body for the whole night, which is fun. So like if I
Oh
feel
no.
like I get that, like I'm not sure if I have sleep apnea. Like I gotta talk to a doctor about that. But
Yeah.
like some like that's why you have to have shit on at night. Like with a projector, it makes it a lot easier.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
So like sometimes I'll just throw on Wendigoon, which I mean some of the shit is creepy, but like his voice is very relaxing. It keeps you kind of grounded.
Oh yeah. And then on top of that, I like, if need be, there's also like some podcasts that I listen to that aren't. It's their YouTube podcasts. Let's see, I think it's one is called Lord of Spirits, and that's just because they cover all the nuances of orthodoxy. So there's so much worth learning there, especially if you're trying to learn about your beliefs and what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. It's also like, I don't want to be that guy that claims to know. Was it? I don't want to be the dude who was. um, fuck. What was it? I think it was Charlie that did it. He was reacting to a was it Insider? Was it Insider? The freaking pastor that was calling people that flew commercial. He was calling them demons,
We're
and that's
talking the
why.
methed up pastor who was at least on 5 or 6 drugs, right?
Yeah.
Like like that
And
fucking dude.
I'm like, this man is. As soon as he got caught bullshitting, he made the most, like, did, like, I can't, it's just like, oh my god, the mask went off, and it's like that dude's evil as fuck.
It's unsurprising to me. There's a reason, like, if I see that a pastor's become prominent, like, it's like, okay, let's see.
Oh yeah,
How
like I
evil
got a
is this
bone.
dude?
Yeah, no, there's one where it's like, was it, um, like what was I think there was like a major storm that hit Texas at one point, and this dude could have opened up his megachurch to give people a place to shelter from the storm, and he's like, no, I'm not opening shit.
You say mega church, and I think one name, and correct me if I'm wrong. Osteen?
Yes.
I fucking knew it. There's only one name. When you say, like, mega church, there's only one fucking name.
Yeah, it's just that's just one of those things where I'm like, damn, like y'all make like y'all are the reason why I have such a hard time telling people what my religious beliefs are because they're gonna throw me in with you.
Exactly, like, people like Osteen and ones like that are the reason why Christianity in folks is declining, because it's like, look at these examples, like we have for pastors. Like, there's even some fucking local names here, and it's like,
Yeah,
look at all these like, and I know I'm going to kind of sound like a hypocrite for saying this, because I'm not exactly a shining example of Christianity, considering my homosexuality, but like, look at all these
I ain't
degenerate
judging.
sinners that are supposed to be these godly pastors and whatnot, and like, and I all of a sudden understand why people do not try to subscribe anymore, because it's like, look at this shit. These are supposed to be our spiritual leaders, and they succumb to the sin, like to the worldly and earthly sins worse than
Oh
those
yeah,
that
no,
are
there.
telling to repent.
Yeah, it's even worse on their end,
Yeah.
and it's insane. Um, yeah, and bringing it back to the freaking contracts issue, it's like you ever tried reading like the membership contracts for those mega churches? They read just like a Niji Sanji contract. I shit you not.
It's a fucking, like, mega churches are a fucking cult.
Yeah.
And
What
this is
was
going to
it?
be controversial too. So like, if you want to tell me to shut up, that's fine.
Nah, nah,
Like,
nah.
it's
Go
the
for it. Go
same
for it.
reason you will never see me supporting Jehovah's Witnesses. Because like, that is a fucking cult. And like, you will even hear from ex-members, like,
As
it's a cult.
someone who has a grandma that was a Jehovah's Witness, yeah, I can. Yeah, I know some stories from my parents, and then just the shit that like they had to put up with, and I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to have a hunger for the knowledge of scripture, but that shit is not supposed to be shoveled down your throat like you're in an interrogation or something.
They put the thump into Bible thumpers, if you'll
Oh yeah.
take the joke there.
Yeah, no, for real. It's sheesh, man.
Yeah. And also, one thing I've noticed, like, and I don't know if you've noticed this with Jehovah's Witnesses missionaries, they're not cleanly people. Like, and I'm not sure if you've seen this, but like, every
I think
Jehovah's
I've had the luck
Witness,
of not meeting one, so
like, I've had a couple of Jehovah's Witness missionaries, and like, out of all of them, I've only seen one who seems to have practiced like proper sanitation habits. And like, for
right.
considering that they like are trying to push, God down our throats, wasn't one of the like things, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but cleanliness is godliness? Like, because I assume cleanliness isn't just like cleanliness of the spirit, but also the body as well.
Yes. That's just because standard hygiene rules were even like a very what was it like read Leviticus. That whole book just reads as, in case of possible bacterial contamination, these are the steps you need to follow. Or in case you fucked up and touched something you weren't supposed to touch, here's what you're supposed to do to clean yourself up. Or in case you grabbed something that wasn't supposed to be touched by you and you don't feel, and you don't want to suffer the consequences of that, here's what you can do to kind of cover your ass
Yeah,
for lack of a better term.
yeah, exactly.
That entire book reads as a standards for hygiene, apart from also keeping yourself purified because essentially if you walked into the tabernacle and you weren't purified, you died from divinity. That's like the literal translation from the Latin scripture is you death by divinity,
Yeah,
which is insane.
yeah, it is, but it's also like it's like if you're a Christian, it's a good thing to read and to pay attention to.
Oh yeah, yeah, for real. The thing is also, what was it? There was a book that I was reading, uh, and they just point out the fact that modern day Christianity, it's become slowly but surely it's become all wishy washy to
Modern
where
day
they don't.
Christianity is so far removed from Christianity that it's like it may be Christianity, but it's in name only.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit, this is interesting.
Okay, what's interesting to you? You got my
Article
interest.
20, Article 26, exclusion of antisocial forces. What the fuck is this?
I believe that would be the anti-PIPA clause.
Each party hereby represents and warrants that currently it is not an organized crime group, a group affiliated to an organized crime group, a group that carries out activities that are contrary to the public welfare or any antisocial forces hereinafter collectively antisocial forces, and that it does not have any relation whatsoever with any antisocial forces, and that it will not have any relation whatsoever with any antisocial forces in the future. And there's two more parts to this.
Okay.
It's just like, okay, cool. Are you saying that you recognize you're not a crime group? Why does this need to be in the damn? It's probably a Japanese thing because of the. I don't know if it's like something that has to do with them.
Maybe it's to cover their ass, like, hey, we're not Yakuza or Yakuza?
Probably, yeah. We're not Yakuza.
Yeah.
Amendments to this agreement. In the event that Party A amends this agreement, Party A shall notify Party B in writing in the details of the amendments. In the event that Party B does not object to any amendments in the terms of this agreement within 14 days after the notice pursuant to the preceding paragraph, Party B shall be deemed to have agreed to the amendments in this agreement. The same shall apply if Party B conducts any activity under this program within the same period. So, if you don't tell them no, they'll take that as yes. And if the contract gets changed and you don't say something in 14 days, after day 14, they'll just automatically assume you said yes. That's bullshit.
That's wow.
Effective term. The effective term of this agreement shall be 2 years from the date of execution of this agreement. There's the renewal is 3 months before expiration. Then current effective term. Automatic renewal for successive terms. Notwithstanding, Party A may terminate this agreement by notifying Party B at least 3 months. See, but this right here, it says, notwithstanding the preceding paragraph, Party A may terminate this agreement by notifying Party B at least 3 months in advance by the method prescribed by Party A. In their own contract, Niji Sanji breached its own contract.
Imagine my surprise.
Yeah, because they did this to Selen Tatsuki. They didn't give her 3 months notice or nothing. They just dropped her ass and that was it.
Does that mean that theoretically,
Theoretically, she can just take them to court and fucking whip their shit out of them with just this.
but couldn't Chibi though use that as well?
Yeah, GB could also use that because
Interesting.
if they didn't give her 3 months, if they didn't give her 3 months advance on it, and oh, we're gonna go ahead and terminate you. Here's your 3 month notice. If they didn't do that, unless of course they're also using. Oh, hold on. Let's see. In the event that this agreement is terminated within 3 months from the date of execution, this agreement due to cancellation, and if at the time of termination, Party B has already received the exclusive fee stipulated in Article 4, Paragraph 1, Item 2, then Party B shall return said received exclusive fee to Party A. Oh, okay, so that's just if you receive the $1,300 that they may or may not give you, you have to return it after you get terminated.
Okay. Oh, so
That's
that's
just them recouping. And then, of course, you could probably this Article 23 probably is the band-aid that covers them from having to admit the fact that they fucked up with Article 22 Section 2
I see.
because they could just be like, yeah, we amended it. Oh, what's that? Yeah, it was also past 14 days and she didn't say anything, so she obviously said yes.
That seems incredibly legally dubious.
Oh yeah, this that's why this last Article 30 governing law and jurisdiction, they literally say this is going to take, if this has to happen in court, it's going to happen in Japan.
I see.
Where with Doki, however, because these guys fucked up so bad, they didn't break Japanese law, but they broke Canadian privacy law. So it doesn't matter that Japan, it's gonna be like they're saying all disputes to this agreement have to happen in Japan. No, because this isn't a dispute about agreement. This is the fact that you leaked private info from a Canadian citizen. You actually breached PAPETA law, and now Canada can actually take your ass to court. The freaking government of Canada can come after Japan.
So, how much do you bet that after today's things, the Niji lawyers are just being driven to drink?
Uh, I think they've already been driven to drink. There's a possibility that one of them already has a 44 Magnum in his. Well, sorry, no. Japan isn't allowed to have 44 Magnum. Someone somehow managed to get their hands on a 38 special, and
Actually,
it's currently
theoretically,
sitting
they
in.
could because don't most police in Japan use Nambu revolvers still?
They use. Yeah, you're right. Most of them do use Nambu revolvers, but then they've also been issued 5-shot 30, 32, or 38s.
So yeah, they could get a hand on like a 38 special or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just like they're like currently one hand in the drawer palming the revolver going, "Ah. Shut
Speak
up."
Speaking of, by the way, did you see the post for Sock's VTubing agency that apparently they lost
Oh,
Pinocchio with tits
yeah, they
to
lost
fucking
they lost
mahjong?
Pinocchio. They lost Pinocchio. They lost Pinocchio because before they even had a chance to debut, so they already got terminated. And then on top, or they already graduated. And then on top of that, the what was it? The CEO has been banned from using company funds to gamble on a mahjong.
That shit was funny.
And meanwhile, the COO is just there like,
Uh,
I'm so done with this shit.
and then just like the Flork comic, like in heaven, how do I play mahjong? That's the one
Yeah,
thing I don't know.
still trying to figure out how to play mahjong.
Yep.
Oh man, I haven't played that in a hot second. I might just end up downloading a mahjong game and playing it on my PC at some point.
I think the RGG series has it.
Nice.
Yeah, like I think like you can play mahjong in every Yakuza game. I know you can play
Oh
shogi in
wow.
most of them, and
Ah,
I'm
I need
like
to get my hands on. I'll probably get like a dragon then.
if you have a Game Pass, you can play just about every Yakuza game
Ooh, might
except
just have to
for
do that then.
Infinite Wealth. Yeah, like except for Infinite
Yeah, it
Wealth,
didn't
like they're
Infinite
all
Wealth
there.
just come out?
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
the other Yakuza game, fucking Like a Dragon Gaiden was already out on Game Pass like within a month of dropping.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of surprised Infinite Wealth isn't. Like at the same time, like this is going to be controversial as hell, but I thought the Ichiban, Like a Dragon 7 sucked
Yep.
because like
I,
it was
I wouldn't know about that just because I never played the series. So
like it's a I'm not going to spoil it, but I hate the turn-based system because it's so poorly done.
really,
Yeah,
I thought it
no.
was I thought it was like active combat for
It
most of
was
them.
until Ichiban's game. For
Huh. Wonder why
Ichiban's,
they
it
made that
became
switch.
turn-based.
Huh. Strange.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's very poorly done turn-based. Which I know will probably get at least a couple people in my thing like, no, you just suck at turn-based. And it's like, no, I grew up with Final Fantasy,
Yeah, exactly. I grew up with
Dragon
Final
Quest, and
Fantasy.
a good few others. No, yeah,
Super,
Like a
super.
Dragon, fucking, Yakuza Like a Dragon just sucks
I
turn-based.
sunk so many hours into playing Mega Man and what was it? Mega Man Battle Network, Mega Man Star Force, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and I forget what was it. Oh, was it Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door was also turn-based combat. There's like so many games in my childhood that were just very heavy on turn-based combat. So it's like, it nah.
Like,
If it's bad, you'll know it's bad.
yeah, like one of like the main theme for fucking Yakuza Like a Dragon is grinding. Like you have to do so much fucking grinding just to get past single chapters even.
Whoa.
Like I'm not even kidding here when I say I end up just fucking giving up on the game about not just over halfway through. I think it's like on chapter 9 or so because I was
Yeah.
spending like I was putting like 18 plus hours a day when I wasn't getting shit done around the house or any of that just trying
Right, right,
to
right.
fucking grind shit. Like that was 18 hours a day per week just about just to try to fucking grind so I could get past fights so I could get eke out just slightly better weapons, armor, and loot, only for it to be like nothing because the way it was set up, like it didn't fucking matter because they would just ramp up the difficulty way more to the point where it was legitimately just bullshit. It was like, dude,
Wow.
like, and it's why it's wild to me that people just are trying to be like, yeah, it's an amazing game because like, no, it sucks.
It's shit.
Yeah,
It's shit, damn it. Dude, so I'm reading through Article 11. It literally says management of information account, and this I think is for the user ID and password of their social media accounts. The highlighted bit. Party A may use the account for the purpose of the management of the program. And then it also says that, let's see, the non-highlighted bits. Party B may use the account within the scope approved by Party A. So at any time, Niji could just take over the social media accounts of their talents, and you wouldn't know. And if the talents are using the social media accounts, they can only post whatever's been authorized.
that's entirely unsurprising. Like if this were
That's
any other
fucking
company,
bonkers.
like if it was any other company, I'd assume it was just to avoid potential PR nightmares. But where it's Nietzsche, it's like, oh, for fuck's
No, this
sake.
is rigging a PR nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. Like this, like I'm surprised that this legally holds water anywhere, let alone, you know?
No, it shouldn't. Although what was I think was it um I'm trying to remember Matt Pat did some coverage once for a lawsuit that was supposed to happen between Epic Games and it was supposed to be between Epic Games and Activision, but because the venue of choice would have taken or the venue for the lawsuit would have taken place in Korea, Korea, regardless of evidence, would have sided with Epic Games. Because that's just how the law works out there. They have some weird policy that has them side with the native, whether it be a plaintiff or a defendant. If they're native to Korea, they have to defend them, or they have to side with them, or something like that. It was some like sketchy shit that I don't even know how it works.
That
But Matt had
is
done all the research on it.
that's pretty screwy, but I'm honestly not too surprised.
Yeah. Which is freaking hilarious now, considering that because of just how overly bureaucratic South Korea's management of their internet has become in the last year, that now a lot of services aren't even a lot of services are slowly starting to disappear from the Korean side of the internet.
I'm not surprised. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if by this time, even next year, like, if most Asian countries had their own Great Wall similar to China and like how Vietnam and whatnot's trying to
That
do.
would be depressing as hell.
It would be, but look at the way the tides are going, and tell me it's
Yeah.
not becoming more and more likely.
Yeah. It's just sad because this is supposed to be the information age, and it's slowly becoming the echo chamber age.
And it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, honestly it reminds me of I think was it Claymore? Was it Claymore that did it? Where they have the premise was that like there's these two sides that are in a cold war, and both sides have this giant like orbital tower that's just constantly spying on their own citizens.
I've never heard of that, but that doesn't surprise me.
I think it's probably Claymore or Clanad.
Maybe it's Clanad? Uh,
Let's see. No, it's not Clanad. All right, let me see Claymore.
fictional medieval island.
No, that's Dark Fantasy manga. Damn it. All right. Let's see. Cause geez, this was like an old Netflix entry back when like I was had Netflix in like 2015, I think.
Man, how the years have changed. I'm just gonna mute myself real quick so I don't distract you.
Yeah.
Let me just. It's crazy how streaming services have gone. Like, most people genuinely don't use them anymore, and understandable because when I say most people don't use them anymore, that's kind of misinformation. But like, a lot of people, at least on the side of the internet I roam, are starting to just completely go away from streaming services because, like, even if they weren't just all fragmented, like they're just going in more and more ways that are very highly disagreeable to consumers such as myself, where like yeah, stuff's fragmented, but even if not for that, the measures they pull and the things they do are so anti-consumer that it's like, what's the point of spending the cash if at any point we the users could get screwed? Kind of food for thought. And hopefully that made sense. Sorry if I was kind of incoherent, it just kind of came to my head. Because like, I mean, ugh. Any luck?
Uh, slowly but surely. Damn, come on. Oh, that's about mechas. Let's see. More mechas. Oh, hey, Spy Family made it onto that list. That's unfortunate. No, I can't find it. I'm gonna probably have to search through Netflix's stuff and see if they still have it up there, or if
No
it even
problem.
exists anymore. For all I know, it might have become an ephemeral anime. I thought about looking at it once and just never bothered to watch it.
It happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Anywho,
oh, is it that time already?
yeah, it's 1 o'clock. I was just gonna try looking through more of this contract just because this is just insane how they wrote this.
It
Like they take all your cash and maybe leave you some as a profit, but if you fuck up, they will take anywhere from 50% to all of the money you were supposed to make that month.
it's horrifying, but like, I'm I'm kind of surprised that this isn't more common, just because of
That
how shitty a lot of these companies are.
I mean, I think it's just Niji is the one to fuck up the loudest.
That that unfortunately does seem to be the case. Which that's depressing. Like, if Niji hadn't fucked up the loudest, would we have even known? Like, if people.
Um, Debatable considering if not Niji, Wachter would have, just because they've also been making noise. And then they tried to rebrand, but someone called them out on it when they tried to come out as the one. I think it was the 190 company or something like that they were trying to rebrand as.
Okay.
Only for someone to immediately go, "Hey, wait a minute, motherfucker! I know who you are," and outed them.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
So like, let me take a quick search of Wachter real quick.
We never really delved into Walker. Like, you kind of talked about it a little bit last time, but.
Yeah, so they're pretty much a Japanese Spanish VTubing company, but their fuck up was not loud. It was just unbelievably egregious. They lost all their talents within a year of the company being made, and everyone that so much as complained or sneezed the wrong way, the company dragged them publicly through the dirt each time that someone graduated. The person in question, if they even so much as sneezed wrong, got dragged through the dirt. And as time went on, eventually they had somehow managed to fucking fire all their talents and then doxed all of them.
That is insane.
Yeah, not as loud as Niji, but man, it was bad.
I feel quite bad for the folks affected by that.
Yeah, and the people that left were that either left Wachter or well, there's apparently some people that are still part of Wachter, so it is what it is. But that's also one of those things where, um, somehow, some way, even though, even though that, even though Wachter basically got take here we go 910 Incorporated. That's who they are now. Um, they, it's weird. Their whole situation is up in the air because they, at the same time that they have been they kind of just shot themselves in the foot. They're somehow limping, but no one is letting them even think that they've gotten away with it.
All right.
Because there's only like out of I think a talent pool of like 20 or so people, there's only like two or three left, as far as I know.
Kind of surprised there's that many.
Yeah, and somehow they're still able to operate with just that little. And also like what was it? I think was it oh, the most egregious thing is one of the members was pushed toward doing explicit content.
Oh no.
Yes, and even when that didn't generate enough revenue, what was worse is that then there are private messages where the freaking CEO or some upper management for Wachter was basically telling the talent, "It's okay if you can't pay for it. You could do alleged favors for members of management if you want to pay back your debt."
Why is that so fucking common with scumbags? Like, why is it always, hey, you may not be able to pay, but you can fucking work the poll? It's like,
Yeah,
fuck, man.
it's egregious.
It is
It's
evil.
inhuman. It is inhuman as all hell. Yeah, it's evil,
It's shit
and
like
it's
that that
just
makes me just wonder how the hell these companies operate.
honestly, I think it's just everybody looks the other way because at the end of the day, these are entertainment companies. Their fuck ups don't affect the world much, but the mental damage that they inflict on their talents is definitely something that is gonna affect the talents for some time to come.
Maybe even the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and it's some most times it seems to be irreparable.
I can't even imagine this shit. Like, just why? Like, what drives a person to commit such acts of evil against their fellow man? And that's even
Lack
some of the most mild shit compared to some of the shit going on. But fuck.
lack of morals. Fuck, maybe even if they do have morals, they don't believe in them, or the fact that they've just gone their whole lives not being caught, or even if they did get caught, they
Just
just
what?
didn't care. They
Yeah.
figure if I stick this out long enough, I'll be able to get back on it.
Ugh, man.
Yeah, no, it's there is evil out there in the world, and it's just it sucks that you know you just can't throw these guys into a wood chipper just to save everybody the headache. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Granted, I know a bunch of people would be like, "Man, that's very unchristian of you." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. That is very unchristian of me." But I also can't be ignorant of the fact that yes, even though someday justice will be served, these people will be back on it because they really do believe that if they stick it out long enough, they will be back on it, and even if they do get caught, they'll still be back on it.
There's a
So
reason rabid dogs get put down.
yeah,
And maybe that may be considered fucked up to say that one day this might show up as Exhibit A, but am I wrong?
it's it's just like something's got to give,
Yep.
and it's just one of those things where I'm just like, cool. This is why I have my religious beliefs. I'll just leave it in the hands of a higher power because obviously the game doesn't end here.
Very true.
But I can't see the whole picture, so I'm not about to act like I know what the solution is to everything.
Yep.
I can just fix what little I can and keep moving.
Yep. And just that little bit can help out a lot, knowing that hey, there's something out there that still cares and is trying to do what's right.
Yep. That's why I'm calling out this bullshit.
Exactly.
Oh, geez, my nostrils just popped. I guess I'm depressurizing finally.
Hey, that's nice at least, huh?
Yeah, it feels nice to not have to feel like I've got cotton balls shoved up my nostrils.
See, thankfully I haven't gotten that yet, but it is around that time of year where I get my yearly illness, which either puts me down for 24 hours or for a week.
I mean, for me, it's just gonna rebound. Chances are I'm gonna get it from someone else again and just restart the whole cycle.
Yeah. Like I said, for whatever reason, like when I get sick, and it's usually like once a year. Like, and it's been that way my whole life. Like, you ever, this may not be an experience you can relate to, but like when, like I get sick, like I said, once a year, and it's like a pretty bad illness. Like, it'll have me basically no energy, can barely move, and when I do move, like even 5 feet, completely out of breath, too hot or too cold, no in between,
Right.
and like just gack Technicolor splash, among other
Oh
things.
man.
Like,
Yeah, like your whole system is just trying to reset hard and it doesn't know what to do.
yeah,
I've only had that once, and that was just because I ate something I shouldn't have ate. I knew I shouldn't have eaten. I should have eaten it, but I was hungry.
every year, and like so I assume it's coming soon, honestly, because it's just like it happens every year. Like
Yeah.
about it was either 21 or 22. I had COVID so bad it actually took out the whole house, like for actually
Whoa.
over a week.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not about to be like, oh, either it was, is or isn't, because you know what, not my business. We'll find out what it actually was when it's time, I suppose.
Yeah.
But like that shit, like this is like my pretty certain it was like my fourth time getting COVID, and this time it was fucking intense. Like shortness of breath. Like the first day I had COVID, like I was in the worst pain of my fucking life. Like
Yikes.
everything that could hurt fucking hurt. And like I was just slowly starting to get sniffles and coughs. Like I was in the worst pain of my life. I'd never had anything where I was in pain like that.
Yep.
And like that shit
Excuse me.
sucked,
Damn.
man. It's fine, man.
Yeah, I knew a lot of people that had the same complaint that it completely floored them. For me, I don't
Like,
think I ever actually got hit with it, but what really screwed me over was the first two vaccinations they had everyone take.
see, I never took the vaccinations.
Oh, I took the first two, but then after that I said, yeah, I'm not doing this shit again. This was stupid. Like I just rewrote my damn. It's like I took a closer look at how it's supposed to work, and it's like I just rewrote my genetic code for nothing, and I didn't even get superpowers out of it like in Bioshock.
Yeah. Like the reason I didn't take it is because there's a family history of being allergic to the flu shot so bad it will land you in the hospital for a while. It's
Yeah.
like Grandpa when he took it back when he was in the military, it knocked his ass into Walter Reed in quarantine for a while even.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's why I don't
My
even take the flu shot because it's that fucking bad.
I was the only one in my family that could actually take it. Everyone else had a medical exemption just because, like, what was it? Everyone had some sort of respiratory condition that prevented them from taking it because if they took it, there was a high probability that it would kickstart the respiratory condition and they would just have to end up in the hospital with like an iron lung.
Damn, that sucks, man.
Yeah. So like I was the only one that like, nope, you're clear out of everyone here. You can go ahead and take it if you want.
Damn.
I went sure just because I don't want to be the reason they get a respiratory illness that could fucking floor them if this is as dangerous as it is.
Yeah.
And then just nothing ever came of it. So
Man, we really just kind of went
oh
into many
shit.
subjects, huh?
Yeah, just loaded the shotgun and fired and see what got hit.
Like this, I could literally just title this fucking podcast
the
episode
sh-
like ADHD philosophy, and it wouldn't be
yeah.
too inaccurate.
Oh man. No, and the hilarious thing is like I spent the whole day today and yesterday like I in the last 6 hours before we started this episode, I was doing as much of a deep dive as I could between Niji Sanji and Sweet Baby Inc. But then the last 48 hours has been a complete deep dive between like three different topics because I was oh shit, we didn't even get the H Bomber guy. We'll have to do that one next.
TLDR, dude died, shit happened.
Fuck. All right.
Also, like, basically, like, let's fucking get into this at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's go.
this all started because H-Bomber guy made a video about plagiarism, specifically going after this guy. And then, fast forward to a couple months later, where, like, all pretty certain the dude, committed game end. And, like, the dude's, like, fucking H-Bomber guy's audience is, for lack of better words, fucking psychopathic. Like,
Oh.
have you seen this shit, dude?
Nah, hold on. Let me search up his name real quick, or
Like,
just see what's trending.
some of the shit, like, the audience is like, if you've seen it, like, it is, like, it's horrifying, the shit some of it, like, that his audience is fucking doing, dude. Like, you know, or saying it. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, a dude fucking, like, is very likely pushing up roses, and this is what you assholes are doing. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Let's see.
man. Or pushing up daisies? Fuck, I don't... It's just, it's depressing, man. And, like, if that is true that the person's...
James Somerton, because he was adamant on telling viewers not to harass Somerton and is always talking about the importance of mental health. What the fuck happened?
Oh,
Oh,
so, H Bomber guy's audience, like, I'm not sure, like, what the hell was going on, but, like, the dude, James Somerton, is the very likely, like I said, pushing up daisies, and, like, with the audience, like, some folks are saying, let me just put it this way, like, one dude boiled it down like this, like, for the tweet, like, I'll actually read out this tweet. My deepest condolences to James Somerton's family. This is genuine tragedy. A normal person. And then right under that, it's sad he left the server. I'm just boiling that down because, you know, YouTube TOS.
yeah.
But how is it my favorite internet creator's fault, huh? Or his genuinely insane fan bases? Answer me that, H-Bomber's guy's pack of ravenous freaks. And it's like, you're just looking and it's like, apparently there is a couple of, responses, but it's like, look at this shit, and it's like, there's, like, people, some are saying he's responsible, some that he's not, and then there's the audience being like, no, H-Bomber guy had nothing, did it. And it's like, but, you know, he was called out for something that she'd called for, saying, you know, should seek help. Like, now they're backpedaling, but, like, just looking at the,
Yeah, it says after 10 years of hate mobbing the same guy.
I'm not, 10 years?
Someone, like one of these posts, I think, let me scroll back up and read it, because someone, here we go. I think it's this one.
But, like, I don't think H-Bomber guy,
Yeah, here we go. So it says, so this is I'm not gonna read the account name, but I'll just read the post, and it says, I'm not saying H Bomber guy is responsible for what happened. I just find it funny how the same crowd that spent the last decade dying on the "you're responsible for your audience" hill started to backpedal only after realizing they might have just hate mobbed a guy to leave the server.
yeah, it's like, I'm just seeing this shit, like, H-Bomber guy very likely had nothing to do with it, because, you know, I'm just reading the on a live note, at least parts of it, and it's like, there's something that, like, this is pretty horrifying. Like, either way, because, like, there's some people saying that H-Bomber guy did this, then there's some saying his audience. Like, either way, because, like, the response of his audience, like, have you seen this? Like, some are saying, like, normal, just people stuff, but then...
Yeah, a lot of
like,
people are just being unhinged. Like, what the hell are these reactions though? Like,
yeah, because, like, there's one from an H-Bomber guy's fans thing, which I'm not going to read the account, that says, it's not
yeah,
H-Bomber's guy's fault that James Somerton would rather leave the server than fess up to his plagiarism. What the fuck? Dude, does that person have no soul to say something like that?
my honest response would be nobody should be talking about this. Like,
Exactly, but it's like,
like someone has possibly bit the dust. Let that shit breathe for a second because we need to find out what the hell happened if this is for real. There is no confirmed report, and until such a report comes out, people need to shut up. But everyone wants to be first on the scene to either tribalize or pitchfork for something.
it's like this thing. Like I've been seeing the whole like, even the quote unquote body count meme. Like I've been seeing this since the day before yesterday. Like everyone's only talking about it now. Like I saw this literally. Like I'm pretty sure like the day before yesterday.
What
Or
the fuck? Here's
or
an unhinged one. Someone's complaining that H Bomber guy and Act Man were both right next to each other on the trending tab. Like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you, man? Calm down.
yeah, I see that too. Like you're scrolling the same when I am.
Yep.
And there's some calling him a murderer, and it's like, oh, like I don't know, like I, the, the fuck, man, like this whole situation is screwed.
Fucking the quarterings got his opinion on the situation too.
I forgot the quartering existed genuinely, cause like he was big in the circle back 2021, but then everyone was like, nah, fuck this guy.
The one time the algorithm pushed me one of his videos, I had to stop watching his channel because I'm like, something's happened because he's just he has. I'm not saying he's gone off the deep end. It's just like the dude took the filter off. He doesn't care anymore. Something happened and it's driven him to take the filter off, and now he doesn't care how he sounds when he says the things he says. Which before he kept it professional. Now it's just, you know, fuck it, grenades for everybody. It's just like, man, come on.
Yeah,
I actually used to respect your work. Now I'm just wondering what the hell happened.
yeah. It's like, it's the reason why like I see all these like prominent YouTubers and like stuff like this happening, and it's like everyone just needs to like take a fucking step back, which I know is kind of hypocritical considering I just brought up this subject.
Oh, I didn't even know what was going on. Honestly, I probably would have never known what was going on until you told me.
Like I said, this has been all over the feed, like at least from what I've seen since like the day before yesterday. Hold on, let me actually check. Or no, I guess it would have been like the 5th. So like most of the shit has been since the 5th, possibly before, but like everything I've seen. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like there's just so much shit. Like, holy shit. You know, like I don't know how to like really describe this because it's like you see like everything is just mostly unhinged
Jesus,
stuff.
someone's equating it to the free run anime.
I saw that fucking thing today when I was looking
I'm
into
like,
the whole Sweet Baby
dude,
thing.
what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like holy like everyone's doing this shit. Like doesn't matter what
What
side
are
of the
what
political spectrum. Like they're just so unhinged.
people? What the fuck are y'all smoking in that crap pipe? Get rid of it. It's not good for you. You're thinking all kinds of fucking weird. Oh man. Honestly though, the way so I'm reading more and more of these posts, and honestly, it feels like someone activated a botnet.
If not a botnet, like
Because a lot of the writing, like the word choice in a lot of these posts are damn near identical.
it's exactly the same. Yes,
Like there's a variation of a word or two here and there, but damn.
it is actually horrifying. Like I genuinely hope that whatever the hell's going on like gets solved because like hopefully that dude's not actually game end. Hope, but like what the fuck is going on right now? You know?
Let's
And
see, reading.
like I'm just looking, and it's like both a botnet and a shit flinging contest.
I like how one of the freaking Twitter accounts that I follow on one of the posts where someone said H Bomber Guy may have forced someone to leave the server. They replied into that post going bit of a reach. And I guess they also realize that this needs to be confirmed first before anyone's saying something. Someone else has popped in saying all he did was make a video that exposed the con man of his cons.
Yeah, like a lot of like it
And
seems like a lot of these fans, maybe air quotes here, like they're all putting the exact same thing, which is to either a say the same exact it yeah, this probably happened, but it's not his fault, should have seeked help, which yeah, I mean, if you're in that thing you should absolutely seek help, but like it seems to be kind of deflecting anything from anything. Maybe I'm misreading. Or,
uh,
and hear me out here, or
yeah,
the
good.
other thing is that these people are saying, like, stuff just completely unrelated, just still going on, like, he plagiarized. The fuck, man? A dude possibly left the server and you're still going on about plagiarism.
Yeah, this needs to breathe. Too many people are dogpiling and no one's actually trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Here's another one. Um, eh, I'm just gonna read out this tweet.
Yep.
Bomber Guy thing. Number one, I don't think Summerton really left the server. Two, Bomber Guy's criticism was completely valid, but he's a complete moron. Like, I'm just, trying to cut around language a little bit here. For
Yeah.
not putting a disclaimer on the video telling people not to harass this person when he's doing so much to destroy this reputation. And this one was only from 5 hours ago, so, like, they're still continuously looking through this.
Oh, geez. One person said they were trying to be neutral about this and hear out both sides of the story, and they just decided, nope, I'm blocking all mentions to this topic.
And you know what? That is
Like they're
understandable. Like, I should not have opened this can of worms.
yeah, they're like, nope, I'm out of this. I don't want to be part of this conversation anymore.
Yeah, that's understandable because, like, holy shit! Like, I just scrolled to the latest thing, and it's like, just have you seen like just the latest tab? Like, this is even more of a trash fire than
Yeah,
everything else.
I'm looking through it right now, dude. This is just holy shit. This is not good. People need to shut up.
Everyone does. Like I said, I shouldn't have even brought up this subject. Like, holy shit, man! Like, I'm horrified.
Man, I need a drink. I
Yeah.
need a drink and a cigar. This is wild.
See, I'd go for the drink thing myself, but I do not partake anymore for obvious
I'm,
reasons.
I'm too broke to get anything right now, so I just have to deal with whatever tobacco I have on hand.
I like the bottle a little bit too much. I don't partake anymore.
No. Well, I had a teammate that was the same way in my previous job. He had to go cold turkey because otherwise it was gonna kill him.
I, I didn't get to that point, but
Oh
the
yeah, his liver's
last
shot. He
last
can't he can't
bottle
have
of
another.
booze I had, I drank, and this was a pretty decent sized bottle. In one night, I drank probably half, three-quarters of the bottle. It was like I realized, fuck, I can't do this anymore. Cause like I don't get hangovers, but still, I shouldn't be doing this to myself. And I didn't get hangovers, but I did get mild withdrawals from that, which tells a good bit. You there?
Yeah. I'm just reading through more of these posts, and it's just
I had to get out of that, man. That was fucking
yeah,
depressing.
yeah. I'm fucking diving further into the void, and I'm just like, I need to get the hell out of here. Like, it is not worth it to keep digging through it.
Have you seen the post? Um, Picture of two black men dressed up as samurais, and says, "How I be looking after eating instant ramen with chopsticks instead of using a fork?"
No, I haven't seen that.
I'll send that to you in DMs real quick, because this is something far less depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about bringing up this subject, guys. Those of you guys seeing this afterwards.
Yeah. Everyone just stay away from it. It's not
Yeah,
worth it. It's not worth. It's one. It's not worth the. It's not worth the. It's not worth the negative vibes that you'll be pulling from that. It really ain't.
yeah, like this is just horrifying.
Top or bottom, I was sent to destroy you.
Okay, you gotta send me
Samurai.
that one.
It's in your memes tab, dude.
Oh, okay, let me check the memes tab real quick. Oh no, that one. Yeah, okay. I forgot I fucking sent that one. Like I found that shit.
Oh
Like,
shit! It's John Sekiro.
speaking of, did you see Sekiro Director's Cut is coming to Steam next month?
Oh, nice, nice. I gotta
Not
get that.
Sekiro. Sorry, not fucking Sekiro. Sorry, Ghost of Tsushima.
It doesn't matter. It's all good. Like, oh man, both games are. One is more tactical based, and the other one is more of it's a whole. It's a similar. No, it's not a similar experience. It's got its own story and its own experience, but like the setting is the same.
Yeah, like I love like Eastern like medieval shit. I also love
Oh yeah.
Western medieval shit, but like I just like medieval shit in general, man. Like it's
Oh
so
yeah.
cool. Like I love the aesthetic.
So one aesthetic that I appreciate so much as far as anime is concerned is the I'll be looking after eating instant ramen with chopsticks instead of using a fork. The funny thing is that my dumbass was raised in like a multicultural community. So I ended up learning how to eat with chopsticks by the time I was 10.
Hey, same, except it wasn't multicultural. I just like been like at different buffets because it was cheaper than restaurants.
I'd be at a cookout and it's just, you'd have a bit of everything. And it's just fried chicken, waffles, fucking someone brought grilled sea bass. Someone else was bringing like a bento box that you could pick food out of. It was wild.
That sounds amazing, dude.
Yeah.
I miss like maybe this is just me, but have you noticed that like the sense of community is just leaving everywhere now?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's been gone for a while, but like it seems like the absence of community seems a lot more noticeable now. Like since that whole like virus happened.
Yeah, it's what happens when you basically isolate everyone from each other. And some people just never managed to reconcile that and kind of recover the sense of community.
Yeah, and it's a shame too, cause like you can tell just like how bad the effects are. Like,
Yep.
can you imagine just like how bad the next generation is gonna be because of how like isolated we've been from each other? Like, what the hell are social conventions gonna look like in even 10 years?
I don't know. I just know that it seems like the only people that weren't affected, and even then they might have some after effects that they don't realize they have, is anybody that lives in a rural community.
I am in a
Because
rural community. I can tell you, I was fucking extremely affected.
yeah,
If I had been by myself, it is very likely I would have been a fucking shell of a man. Not that I wasn't already on the way. Yeah, like it was to the
yeah,
point where I was almost like just screaming incoherently because I would it was just so fucked. Like I was just so fucked by the isolation that it was. I just fucking almost shut off entirely.
yeah. For me, it was the simple fact that everything felt like a ghost town
Yeah, that
because
didn't
I had
help.
to work. I had to work through the lockdown just because of the nature of my job required that I had to be on site whether or not there was an actual viral threat in the air.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, the whole outbreak happens, and they're starting to consider the idea of locking everything down. We get pulled in like every single team is getting pulled off the construction site, and we're all being brought into a situation room, and we're getting the breakdown of like, here's what's possibly going to happen. This is our response, and you guys are still coming in regardless of what happens in the next year or the next few months. And we were literally told, if the cops pull you over, make sure you show them your badge, because we've already sent out notices to local PD that if they see anybody with these specific badges, that they have to be excused.
It's funny you mention that. Like, one of my family members who does in-home health,
Yeah.
she was actually given a badge, like that just said essential worker, like that she had to have inside her car.
Oh,
And that was sent like I think within a month ish, maybe actually less than a month.
yeah.
Like around the same time, like lockdown started happening everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't get like an essential worker placard. It was just that our cards were basically our badges were just recognized because they were issued by the DoD.
Ah, yeah, because of your job, you can't mention too much about because of NDAs and whatnot.
Yep. So it was one of those things where it's like I never got pulled over, but I lost count of how many times I had a police officer trailing me for like 15 seconds before they would then switch lanes and then speed off.
Okay.
So I think at some point they would run my plates and then get a notice saying that I couldn't get pulled over or whatever. They at some point must have updated systems or something, because I
Speaking
could have
of, do
sworn.
you remember this article from the beginning of COVID, which was like this was going around kind of viral. Like remember, like this fucking sheriff's office in Florida said, "Send in your drugs to us. We'll test them for COVID," and it fucking worked.
Somebody give that man a fucking promotion. He's a fucking genius.
Like it's either Florida or somewhere around there. Like it was either
That
Florida
or
or the
he's a mad
Midwest.
lad. Holy smokes.
Yeah, like I saw that shit, and like that was even on the radio, and I
Job's
was
so crazy.
cackling.
Idea's so crazy it just might work.
Like, can you imagine though? Like you're just like doing some like shit like that just to see if if it'll stick, and it fucking worked.
Yeah.
Like that's still insane to me.
Yeah, it's like my face when the idea is propositioned, my face when it actually works. It's like fuck
Yeah.
that. It's like guys, I had no intention on getting this far. This was not supposed to work.
Step one, stupid ass plan. Step two, the plan works. The plan works.
Wait a minute.
Like and
uh,
apparently it was mostly the hardcore druggies going in too. Like it was fucking meth, crack, and
I,
heroin, if I remember right.
I'm sorry, but like at that point, I just think you've perma-fried your brain cells out. At that point, you deserve to lose your stash.
Yeah, like just fucking hell, man.
And what just surprised me was the fact that like once everything came back, you could tell that nobody was okay. I lost count on the first day how many car crashes I was driving past. Nobody knew how to drive.
See, funny enough, I never noticed that issue because traffic basically stayed the same where I lived.
Right?
Like even in the couple of towns that we'd go to, like Ellsworth and Bangor, like one for just the regular shopping you couldn't get local, and then one for club stores.
Right?
Ellsworth and Bangor respectively. Like there was really not too much of that. Like though I did notice, like it was like early 22, like there were a couple almost collisions, like in Bangor. So it was like it was
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, no, people just did not know how to drive. People didn't really know how to communicate because like no one was fucking okay. Like even now, like we are so fucking at each other's throats still. Like, tell me this isn't an after effect still.
It is. It no, some people managed to just get back to business as normal, and some people just never recovered.
Yeah, like we're so at each other's throats, so angry, so just sad, depressed still. It's like all
I
of this,
mean,
and yet no one could find a way to like help with the mental health effects or any of that. It's like
yeah,
what the fuck?
it's we knew that we knew for the longest time that isolation like that actually causes damage to the brain. You sort of start to tear yourself apart from the inside because you're not with other people. It's
Yeah.
why it's why a lot of people starting to kind of there's like a movement where it's like solitary confinement is possibly going to be something that gets done away with, and the only reason it exists if you're some sort of like you know you're someone that did some actions that you shouldn't have done, and now the entire general populace of the prison you're in wants you deep sixed.
Which at that point, like
At
if
that
you
point, you
fucked up
deserve it.
exactly, like if you're so bad, Gen Pop is looking at your ass like fucking die. Maybe you should. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. So
It's fine. You can edit it.
I have no idea how to edit. No, I can't.
Oh, just
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
just cut that part then.
I have
So,
no idea how to do any of that shit, dude. I had a
oh,
grand
dude.
total of one fucking editor, and after one video, never saw her again
Um,
because life fucking happens, dude.
I would say try Shotcut because that's what I use.
I've tried, but I just don't have the proper mental skill set to be able to do editing software.
Uh, all right.
Yeah, it's not just by lack of trying. It's the same reason why I can't use GIMP or anything like that.
Yeah, I have GIMP and I just to this day I can't figure out how the hell to use the dang thing. I just don't want to dish out the cash to get Adobe.
I understand.
Well,
So,
it's 140. We can go ahead and cut it now.
yeah, it probably would be for the best because like I could probably keep going another couple hours, given enough incentive. But you need to sleep because it's a weekday. I assume you got something going on.
Oh hell no, I'm still freaking job hunting.
Shit, so am I. Like I got
It's
nothing better to do. So if you want to keep like jabbering on, I'm more than willing to keep jabbering on too. I haven't hit
nah, just
stop
because
recording yet.
the,
You're
the the
good.
really the only thing I got going on is that I'm just going to the gym in a few hours. So that's about it.
Ah, fair enough. I mean, I got an elliptical, so I should probably bust out like 10, 15 minutes again. But
Oh yeah, it's always if like what was it? I think if I remember reading somewhere it's like if you did at least 150 minutes a week, it's good to just keep your cardiovascular health in decent shape.
yeah, like I'm slowly working my way up to hopefully starting to be able to do a half hour a day. But I'm kind of having to do baby steps because where I was pretty unfortunately sedentary during COVID,
Yeah.
like it's had some effects. Like I'm down to like I think 245. Like at one point I was pushing like 255, almost 260.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I was deep into depression among other things.
I think for me it was just like I couldn't access a freaking gym, so like I ended up pushing past 300 without meaning to.
I was just flat out depressed. I did not care anymore.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of shit. Like there was emotional abuse and whatnot going on, so it was like, yeah, okay, sure, pile some more shit on, see if I care. What's the fucking point anymore?
Right.
Which that's not a healthy mindset by any means. And if you have
No.
this mindset, seek therapy if you can. I know
Yeah,
people
for
get
real.
fucked by that shit or
I
priced
mean,
out and all that. But like even just find a listening ear like of a friend. People do
yeah.
care. You do matter.
Check your family, check your friends. You got a support network. You just got to be willing to reach out and talk to them.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you know what? You fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, this has been a wild first 3 months of the freaking year. I'm kind of excited to see what the next few months have in store, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep going.
Yeah, yeah,
I can only modify my bingo card so many times.
yeah. I suppose I can talk about one last thing. Did you see that
Sure.
Brandon Herrera versus Tony Gonzalez is
I
going to
have been
runoffs?
seeing that post all freaking day, and I'm like, someone needs to make the meme where it's Brandon Herrera with like a golden AK going, "I'm coming for your ass."
That would be funny, yes.
Yeah, because I'm just like, he has to. There's just no way.
I'm surprised
There's
it's
just no
actually
way.
going to
It's
runoffs, though, if I'm being honest with
yeah,
you. I'm surprised he
yeah.
made it this far. That tells you something, genuinely.
Oh yeah, no, it's the fact that even in Austin, he was willing to go up to the gun buybacks and like be like, "What are they offering you? And can I give you a better offer in return?" When he found out people were just getting $50 like gift cards in exchange for their firearms, he's like, "Fuck that! I'll pay you market price for whatever firearm you have."
Yeah, which that's wow, yeah.
Yeah. So he was paying people the price they paid for the gun they bought, and a lot of those guns were bought like a decade ago. So he was buying old firearms
Nothing wrong
that
with
were
that.
just sitting around collecting dust, and it was like, and the only reason they couldn't keep going was because the venue organizers basically went, "Hey, they're not allowed to be here." But because the venue organizers rented the area, they have a say on how that place gets operated. So they were able to kick him out.
Now, was that video that was Brendan, Donut Operator, and like one other guy?
Yep, yep, and they got kicked out of. They actually got kicked out of the gun buyback. They had to actually start doing the sales uh, out in the public road. As long as they weren't blocking traffic, what they were doing was perfectly legal.
I bet that really chapped their asses.
Oh yeah, they kept having people walk up to them, trying like not really trying to do nothing, but it's like every now and again you had like security guys that were working for the venue organizers trying to come over and chat with them, but like trying to intimidate them passive aggressively, but it wasn't working. And at some point, the guys just stopped and they were just chilling with the entire crew because everyone realized it's there's just no
Yeah, it's like, come
to
the fuck
where
on.
if you've ever watched, I think was if you've ever watched the unsubscribed podcast,
That sounds familiar. Who's on that?
Brandon Herrera, Donut Operator, Fat Electrician, and Eli Double Tap.
That sounds extremely familiar.
Yep.
I think I may have caught like an episode at one point.
So there is an episode where after that gun buyback video gets filmed, an episode of the unsubscribed podcast goes up. They talk about what happened in during the recording of that video and the events after the fact and before that. And just everything going on with Brendan Herrera's run for Congress. And the idea gets mentioned of what if you bought the adjacent parking lots, because the entire buyback was happening through one specific section of parking at the venue.
Okay.
So the idea was tossed, what if they do that gun buyback program again, what if you just that same day rented all the other rented out all the other parking lots, because it was multiple parking lots around this big ass venue. So the idea was tossed around that if they actually rented out all the other parking lots for the day, they could hold their own gun buyback venue in those lots. And if the dudes that were doing the gift card buyback tried to come over and say something, they could just flash the paperwork that says they're the ones that rented the all the other parking lots.
That would be pretty funny, I gotta say.
It would be hilarious as hell. It's just that at the same time, it's Austin, Texas. They probably would have figured out a way to loophole themselves through it so that they could still mess with everyone.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
Kind of sad, but yeah, it is what it is.
indeed. Kind of reminds me of that one meme.
Oh, Sayu, that was the name of the person I was trying to remember. Sayu Synchronicity. That was Zion Lamza.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
So it's like
they
Sayu. What the fuck is this? Oh, yeah.
yeah, they admitted that the only reason they didn't keep going with the lawsuit was because they were going to get outspent. They would have gone broke before it ever hit courtroom, which is sad.
It's extremely sad, but at the same time, it's also entirely unsurprising.
Yo, why is Ruby trending all of a sudden?
Oh, because Rooster Teeth got shut down by Warner Bros.
What the fuck?
That's. Oh, you didn't know that? Like that happened this.
No, I didn't know that.
That happened this morning. Like I. That's one of the things I talked about very shortly when I muted myself to start the podcast, dude. Like that,
Holy
everyone is fucking
fuck.
out of a job now. Like for Rooster Teeth, because that took everything, including Funhouse and whatnot. I even.
Holy shit. How do you fuck up that bad?
Oh, freaking Zaslav. You know, the same dude who fucked Animal Planet and ran that shit to the ground.
Jesus.
Yeah, look, that shit's all fucked up. Like, everyone is out of a job. Even, like, my favorite company of theirs, which should have died around the same time that Demo Disc did. Like, one, it's all gone, man, now.
I just knew I had this one friend who was very passionate about the show, and he was just very upset at the fact that they had gotten to a certain point in the story where it just didn't make sense what was going on anymore. At least to him, it didn't make sense anymore. And his justification for it was the fact that they were no longer, I think, was it
Yeah, Monty
the
Ohm was the creator of
yeah,
Ruby. He
Monty
pushed up
Ohm's
Rosa a while
notes.
ago.
Yeah, he left the team notes that apparently they could run off of, but after a certain point, after a certain season, they no longer have notes to run off of, so they were basically just doing their own thing. They couldn't figure out the direction they wanted to go in, and like there was a point where they managed to somehow get the heroes to be the villains, but then at the same time they ended up in Wonderland somehow, and it's just like I'm like, dude, what is going on with your TV show? Because none of this is tracking right now. Like in my head, I'm trying to understand what he's telling me, and I started short circuiting for a second.
Yeah, it's even the way it ended. Yeah, it ended extremely like badly, like the way it ended because Rooster Teeth have been shut down. If you
Right.
don't want to hear spoilers, tune off now. But basically what happened is like it was stupid as shit. If I recall right, it was something along the lines of Yang revealed she was homosexual and Ruby killed her. Um, Pushed up roses.
Jeez, man.
Hold on, let me actually look up the post. Muro Ray.
Oh, it looks like someone's trying to buy it though.
Yeah, they're trying, but I doubt
Let's
anything's
see,
gonna fucking happen.
Dylan Goo. Given latest developments, seriously interested in acquiring official Ruby from Rooster Teeth. Who should I talk to? Much of our team worked on the original volumes and collaborated directly with Monty. We'd be honored to bring the series back and carry the torch. Why not just who was the one that was doing Ice Queendom?
Uh,
Why not just hand it off to them?
Good question.
Oh, hey, one of the accounts I follow is actually on board with this. I will be fully dedicated to helping this in any way that I possibly could. Well, considering the fact that Emeril is a animator too, that would actually be pretty cool to see them working on it too. Considering that they were constantly doing animation bits on their account before they had to stop using Unity and use a different animation engine.
Yeah, this ended with Yang telling Ruby that she was gay, and then Ruby leaving the server.
That's a very it's a very strange way of ending a character, but okay. That makes no sense.
Yeah, which also ended with Weiss's home completely destroyed, and apparently John with 30 years of PTSD, and apparently Blake was there too.
So nobody gets nobody. Okay, so it's just sad endings all around. Got it.
Yeah, basically. But technically, the actual ending was the like teased crossover between Justice League and Ruby, or maybe it was teased, not teased. Who fucking knows? But still, like that was what happened. What I just told you.
Oh, I do remember the Ruby DC crossover. I remember seeing a trailer for that.
Yeah, don't know if anything actually happened with that, but
Me neither, to be honest.
the last time I watched Ruby was when season 4 was out, and it was shitty then.
A lot of people are outpouring support for Dylan if he can actually grab it.
Best of luck to him, honestly, but who knows?
I
Because
mean, a lot of people really believe that he can pull it off if he gets it. It's just a question of would Rooster Teeth allow them to buy it,
but
considering they've been shut down, or is that something that they've got to make a deal with Warner Bros. For
I
it?
think they'd have to make a deal with Warner Bros. Because, like I said, everything for Rooster Teeth got shut down, and that means all the properties. Everyone is now just immediately out of a fucking job,
Yeah,
dude.
Warner just liquidated assets if that's the case. Then, but
Yeah,
then
and like the people had no idea until today.
that's just something where I'm wondering if Warner wants would Warner want to do anything with that because it's not exactly from just from how granted this is me growing up watching Warner Brothers cartoons and everything, this isn't really in their wheelhouse, so unless they actually have people that know what the hell to do with it, it's just better in their interest to sell it to someone that knows what the hell they're doing with it.
You know what I think's gonna happen?
What's up?
You know how when Machinima closed, everything got deleted from that?
Yep.
I get the feeling this the exact same thing is gonna happen with all Rooster Teeth properties. I'm hoping
Just
I'm wrong, but
goes full ephemeral, never existed in the first place.
yeah.
That would be depressing.
But it also would not surprise me, especially when you consider Rooster Teeth things like theater mode, which was I mean, have you seen theater mode?
No.
Basically, it was some of the Rooster Teeth folks reacting to shitty movies.
Uh
Some that were
okay.
trauma, some that were not, and all different sorts of things. Some had a lot of commentary, some had barely any, but like it was the actual like for the whole length of the movie even, and it had
Right.
Cow Chop doing it as well and Funhouse.
See, that's one of those though where I would have to say that
You there?
yeah, I'm just trying to think of how to like I just lost my train of thought for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Um Honestly, it just feels like okay, cool. If it becomes something where everything that's on the internet gets deleted, doesn't matter because there are hard copies of everything in the wild right now. Like
Oh,
I could walk to a like a I don't know, it's like damn, I forgot the name of the store, but there was this one store that at this mall that I used to go to where they had like all this all these like animes that don't exist anymore, but they still sell the box sets because they're basically selling hard copies of shit that doesn't exist anymore.
which is
And
pretty
every now and
nice.
again, yeah, and every now and again they get a restock because their supplier manages to find something in the warehouse, going, "Oh yeah, hey, we found more of the stuff because it's not labeled."
That is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, cool, this stuff was slated to go into a landfill, but someone decides, hey, can I just take a quick look at what's in those boxes, and then they end up cutting a deal with someone buy the stuff off their hands instead of it getting dumped into a landfill. It gets redirected to some dude's warehouse where he can just sell this stuff in a store in a mall somewhere.
Speaking
And
of
as long as
like old and obscure anime, have you heard of Retro Crush?
nah,
That's a website which has both a free option and a paid option where you can go and watch like retro anime, and there's even like a live option where you can watch some tokusatsu stuff.
nice.
And like it's pretty decent selection, but last I
Mm-hmm.
used it, the web design and even the app design was a fucking mess.
Damn.
Which is a shame too, because I got a really good selection of shit I hadn't even heard about even.
Yep. Um, yeah, because what was it? Like, there's some stuff that you just can't find anymore. Like, there was one called The Third.
That
That
sounds
was an anime I
familiar.
liked. Yeah, it's just this. It's like you got space elves with like third eyes and whatnot, and they're all like apparently the main character is also part elf, but because their third eye is blue, they're considered a reject. But then it's like also shenanigans of energy control or something like that. They can swing a sword and took down like an entire armada with just one swing, which is kind of weird. But that's like at the end, near the end of the entire series that happens.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a wild ride. I just remember that the main character rides around in this heavily armored battle tank, and their favorite weapon was like a 50 cal sniper. And they partway through the series, they end up getting an upgrade where they have a mech suit that rocks a 20 mil cannon or a 20 mil auto cannon.
Ah, yes, the fuck that specific direction gun.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. It's like, yeah, here's the equipment upgrade, here's the weapon upgrade, and now you're fighting things that just look at that and laugh.
Ah, okay. So going
Yeah, or
from
it's
Dark Souls 2.
yeah, and then it's like, oh yeah, hey, here's a whole episode where the whole mech suit thing is not going to be applicable because it's all in your head because you're being psychically attacked by something, and now you got to fight the shadow of yourself. Let's see who can swing the sword the fastest.
What in the Silent Hill?
Exactly. I told you the whole show is a wild ride, and I think it was only like 2 seasons.
Ah, that's a shame.
Yeah. But like, granted, 2 seasons and it's like fucking 60 episodes.
Oh, nice. So it's like not a
Yeah,
small amount.
this was back in the day when it's like a fuck ton of episodes for a season.
I mean, I know Toriko had a shitload for its season too.
Yeah. Ah, well, it's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good night, man.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah, have a good one. And thank you for watching Tatercast. This has been kind of a wild ride. Well, but yeah, I hope you'll enjoy. If you don't enjoy, fair enough. But if you did enjoy, like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe turn the notification bell on. My heart goes out to all the newly unemployed Rooster Teeth folks, both whose politics I agreed with and whose politics I didn't. Here's hoping y'all get back on your feet soon. But either way, have a good night.